Global aberration, aberrant beasts, rampant darkness, rising endless slaughter. Zhangqing was reborn 10 years ago, obtained the wheel of fate, rose from slaughter, and was reborn in darkness.
叶少爷霸气，叶老板真豪气，叶老板牛皮，众人欢呼，举起酒杯朝叶阳示意，叶阳也连忙拿起酒杯回敬。
Through layers of mist. Kill. A sudden roar resounded inside the carriage, startling the three girls inside. Zhangqing abruptly opened his eyes, glancing around with a shocking, murderous intent. He looked around cautiously and only relaxed his vigilance after confirming there was no danger. However, his dark and cold eyes still maintained a hint of alertness. It was a habit he had maintained for a long time. Walking alone in the apocalypse, caution was paramount. Who are you people? Zhangqing was still dizzy, but his eyes were fixed on the three beautiful young girls in front of him as he questioned them. Looking at the girls' attire, Zhangqing's eyes showed a hint of strangeness. In this post-apocalyptic world, there were still beautiful young ladies dressed so cleanly and neatly. The three girls' outfits were exactly like what people wore 10 years before the apocalypse. We are students of Jinling University. Didn't you say before that you were also going to study in Jinling? A beautiful girl with bright, sparkling eyes and long flowing hair said to Zhangqing with displeasure. Zhangqing's roar just now had startled all three of them. At the same time, they found it strange that Zhangqing, who had only slept for a while, seemed to have changed into a different person when he woke up. Especially his cold eyes made the three girls feel extremely unfamiliar. Hearing the long-haired girl's words, Zhangqing frowned deeply, a trace of confusion appearing in his eyes. That's right, wasn't I fighting against the aberrant beast army in the starry corridor? Why am I here? Zhangqing held his head in both hands, shook it vigorously, then lowered his head to look at the position of his heart. It was intact. He scanned the carriage again and found the surrounding scene identical to 10 years ago. 10 years ago, he was 18, just admitted to Jinling University, and at this moment, he was sitting on the train heading to Jinling City. Zhangqing's body trembled, his eyes flickered, unable to believe that he had returned to 10 years ago. He clearly remembered being in the starry corridor after killing a level 7 white aberrant beast. His heart was pierced by the sharp tentacles of a level 8 white aberrant beast. Then a white jade light suddenly struck him. Could it be that jade light that brought him back to 10 years ago? This was, even though he had struggled to survive in the apocalypse for 10 years, Zhangqing had never heard of anyone who could come back from the dead. What was that jade light, hard as iron? Zhangqing was extremely puzzled. However, the habits formed by 10 years of apocalyptic life gradually calmed his mind. No matter what returning to 10 years ago meant, he was still alive. That was enough. In that cruel, cold-blooded world, surviving as a human was already a luxury. This time he would strive to live in the apocalypse and make those who betrayed him pay with blood. Zhangqing clenched his fists tightly. If not for betrayal, he would not have entered the starry corridor. Classmate, are you okay? The long-haired girl asked with concern when she saw him silent. I'm fine. Sorry about earlier. Zhangqing took a deep breath and said apologies, but his handsome, cool face showed no hint of regret. 10 years of apocalyptic life had forged Zhangqing's cold and hard heart. Being able to utter the word sorry was already extremely rare. Classmate, you must have had a nightmare just now. You don't look very well. Another girl with chin-length hair asked. She had delicate and three-dimensional features, a slender figure wearing tight jeans and a black vest. Her appearance and figure both scored 90 points, very beautiful. Moreover, the girl exuded a heroic and spirited aura, giving a very straightforward and bold impression. Are you Pei Yushan? Zhangqing looked at the short-haired girl's delicate face, his pupils slightly contracting. You know me. The short-haired girl was full of surprise. She didn't remember ever telling him her name. I suppose I do know you, Zhangqing said with a faint smile. Pei Yushan, a future heavenly list expert who rose in the apocalypse. Though she ranked at the bottom, she was still a formidable existence far beyond what Zhangqing could compare with back then. Zhangqing never expected that the future heavenly list expert had been sitting in the same carriage with him heading to Jinling for university. Truly, coincidences make a story, but I haven't seen you before. Where are you from? Pei Yushan raised a delicate eyebrow and pressed for an answer. I'm from Haiqing. I saw your martial arts video on my phone before. Zhangqing said calmly. He was indeed from Haiqing, but had no parents since childhood. Just 3 months ago, the grandmother he had relied on also passed away. The whole world, no one to turn to. Oh, I see. I did post some short videos on Quaidu. Pei Yushan laughed carelessly, believing Zhangqing's words. Zhangqing looked at the innocent and carefree Pei Yushan at this moment, and thought silently in his heart, in 3 days the innocent smile on your face may never appear again. 3 days later, the aberrant mist would envelop the globe. Within just 1 week, the world would become a cruel realm where aberrant beasts roamed. Of the over 10 billion people on Earth, 70 would be infected by aberrant elements and mutate into white aberrant beasts. Countless animals, even plants under the infection of aberrant elements, would also transform into more ferocious aberrant beasts, avian aberrant beasts, and wood aberrant beasts. Everything in the world was in crisis of aberration and extinction. No one knew how the aberrant mist had appeared on Earth. It was as if some deity was secretly manipulating everything. After 70 of humanity turned into white aberrant beasts, various miraculous changes began to emerge around the world. It seemed the entire Earth had been magnified several times. Hills that were once only a few hundred meters high all turned into towering mountains reaching up to kilometers, while the previous kilometer-high mountains transformed into lofty divine peaks piercing the clouds. Many legendary ancient secret realms, absolute deadly lands, and hidden paradises reappeared in the world, and various divine signs emerged one after another. But the greatest help to humanity was the sudden appearance of the Wheel of Fate. After the appearance of the aberrant mist, miraculous wheels would appear all over the world. Whoever obtained these wheels would survive longer in the apocalypse, and also gain the opportunity to evolve and become stronger. Zhang Qing didn't even have the lowest bronze wheel, so before his rebirth, he was only a level 7 warrior. A level 7 warrior was not weak in the apocalypse, nor was it strong. It was the backbone of apocalypse war teams. Especially after the Starry Corridor appeared, all warriors below the heavenly rank worldwide had to be dispatched by the World Alliance to enter the Starry Corridor and resist the large-scale invasion of aberrant beasts. And Zhang Qing, in the 3rd month of the Starry Corridor's appearance, was forcibly conscripted due to a teammate's betrayal. The first battle he participated in cost him his life. However, it also gave him a rebirth. Dear passengers, Jinling Station is arriving. Please take your luggage and alight in order. While Zhang Qing's mind was still in turmoil, the crisp voice of the train announcer sounded through all the carriages, pulling him back to reality. After sitting on the train for over 10 hours, we've finally arrived. Pei Yushan stood up and stretched. As her body moved, her black tight top rode up, revealing a flat, tight, fair abdomen that was fully visible to Zhang Qing across from her. Zhang Qing's gaze did not linger. In the apocalypse, human life was as cheap as grass, and women were even more reduced to cheap trading goods. The more beautiful a woman, the more unfortunate she was. As long as there were source crystals or food, beautiful women could be found at any time. However, future heavenly rank experts like Pei Yushan were not someone anyone would dare to mess with in the apocalypse. Pei Yushan, I hope we meet again. Zhang Qing picked up his backpack, walked to the carriage door, turned around, and said to Pei Yushan, who was excitedly looking out the window, "Classmate, what's your name?" Pei Yushan came to her senses only to find Zhang Qing's figure had disappeared. She pouted, then began to pick up her luggage to head to Jinling University. Outside the station, Zhang Qing looked at the bustling, crowded Jinling city, his eyes flickering. In 3 days, this place will turn into a living hell. Shaking his head, he did not think more. What was coming would always come. No one could stop it. Summer's blazing sun, like a furnace, scorches the entire earth. Zhang Qing, with a bag slung over his shoulder, walks along a tree-shade road, pondering his next move. 3 days later, the eerie fog sweeps across the globe. Attending university registration is no longer necessary. The top priority now is to locate in advance where the destiny wheel will appear and wait patiently, like guarding a tree stump for a rabbit. But no matter how hard Zhang Qing tries to recall, he cannot remember where in Jinling City the destiny wheel appeared. The destiny wheel appears at random locations, each time completely unpredictable. Better prepare other things first. After figuring this out, Zhang Qing hailed a passing taxi on the road and headed straight for the used car market. He first swiped over 300,000 yuan to buy a highly cost-effective 7-seat used off-road vehicle called Ba, so in his generous demeanor astonishing the car dealer. However, only Zhang Qing knows that in the future current currency will become worthless. And because he sold his hometown house earlier, his bank card now holds over 1.6 million yuan, counting as a minor rich man. Then he drove to a joint venture hospital, went through some procedures, and obtained a large quantity of medicine and simple medical supplies. These are extremely important strategic resources in the apocalypse. In the 10 years of apocalypse, he fought against eerie beasts almost every week, sustaining constant injuries, and even nearly died several times on the spot. And half of the source crystals he obtained were exchanged for medical supplies, the rest for food and drink, with only a small portion left to save. Then he went to a supermarket and purchased plenty of drinking water, compressed biscuits, self-heating pots, and other food enough for a month's supply. Finally, he filled the last row of seats of the off-road vehicle to the brim, causing passers-by to stare, but Zhang Qing paid no heed. In 3 days, the entire city will fall into chaos, and everyone will start scrambling for food and water. He is doing this as a precaution. Next, I should buy a suitable weapon. Zhang Qing, sitting in the car, grips the steering wheel tightly, a sharp glint flashing in his eyes. In the apocalypse, although firearms still exist, cold weapons are the mainstream. Having a good cold weapon can help him quickly kill eerie beasts and obtain source crystals, thus rapidly accumulating them. In the apocalypse, hoarding source crystals is the way. Source crystals are like currency in the end times, able to exchange for everything you desire. Weapons, cultivation techniques, combat skills, women, slaves, evolution potions, spinning the wheel, food, etc. As long as you have source crystals, everything can be obtained. Opening his phone map, Zhang Qing quickly searches for weapon stores and finally finds a 5-star rated Fang's weapon shop. Could it be the Fang family with 2 heaven-ranked masters? Zhang Qing's eyes flicker. If it is indeed that Fang's weapon shop, it should be trustworthy. Soon following the navigation on his phone, Zhang Qing drives the off-road vehicle swiftly to the foot of Zijin Mountain and finds the Fang's weapon shop. Entering the shop, his eyes are greeted by a dazzling array of weapons, ancient longswords, domineering broadswords, and various exotic weapons. Practically all 18 types of weapons are present. Young brother, are you just browsing or looking to buy a knife or sword as a souvenir? Just as Zhang Qing was looking at the weapons displayed on the wall, a hearty and sonorous voice reached his ears. The curtain at the back of the shop is pulled open and a tall middle-aged man in a linen short-sleeved shirt and shorts. The middle-aged man has a masculine and dignified face with a short beard, crew-cut hair, and piercing eyes. His exposed arms are muscular with bulging veins exuding power. Zhang Qing stares at the sweat-covered face, his eyes widening. It is indeed Fang Tianxiao. He had seen Fang Tianxiao's photo on his phone before, so he recognized him instantly. Moreover, although he has not used any evolution potion, Zhang Qing can still sense that Fang Tianxiao currently possesses strength comparable to a second-level warrior. However, he certainly hasn't reached that in speed. The criteria for a second-level warrior are a punch must be at least 250 kilograms and a 100-meter sprint must be within 8 seconds. Fang Tianxiao has likely met the strength requirement, but probably not the speed. In that time, Fang Tianxiao was the 18th ranked heaven-level master on the heaven ranking and also the grand manager of Fang's weapon shop, commanding an iron-blooded war group of 3,000 men. It is said that with his heavenly blade technique, he has slain over a dozen heaven-level white eerie beasts and fierce eerie beasts. Moreover, he has a son, Fang Shiyun, also a heaven-level master ranked 37th on the heaven ranking. In the apocalypse, having 2 heaven-ranking masters makes Fang's weapon shop a major force dominating the region. Hello, I'd like to buy a knife. Zhang Qing snaps back to reality and smiles faintly at Fang Tianxiao. Oh, what kind of knife are you looking for? Fang Tianxiao, mistaking Zhang Qing for a tourist visiting Zijin Mountain, asks with a smile. I want a blade that can cut through iron like mud and kill fierce beasts. Zhang Qing's eyes flash with sharp light, and his body exudes an aura of iron-blooded killing. Although being reborn has left him without his previous strength as a 7th-level warrior, the iron-blooded killing aura accumulated over the years has become ingrained in his bones. Fang Tianxiao also senses the iron-blooded aura from Zhang Qing, his expression turning solemn. It is the first time he has seen such an aura in a young man. He had seen iron-blooded soldiers before, but those were veterans who had experienced countless bloody battles, all over 50 years old. A young man like Zhang Qing is a first in his life. Young brother, what are you buying that kind of weapon for? You must know that the authorities prohibit such weapons. Fang Tianxiao's smile disappears, his gaze burning as he stares at Zhang Qing. Senior, don't misunderstand. I'm buying the weapon purely for self-defense. The great edifice is about to collapse. I am just taking precautions. Zhang Qing knows that Fang Tianxiao misunderstands him, but he doesn't want to explain too much. If Fang Tianxiao is unwilling to sell, he will go to another shop. There are at least 5 weapon foundries at the foot of Zijin Mountain. He doesn't believe he can't get the weapon he wants by paying a high price. The great edifice is about to collapse. Taking precautions? What do you mean, young brother? Fang Tianxiao's eyes show surprise, sensing that Zhang Qing's words carry deeper meaning. Some things, even if I say them, no one would believe. I just want to ask Manager Fang, is this deal on or not? Zhang Qing gazes calmly into Fang Tianxiao's eyes, his expression solemn. Fang Tianxiao's body trembles, his eyes flickering. Finally, he nods and says, when business comes to the door, how can I refuse? However, such weapons are expensive. Zhang Qing says with blazing eyes, this card has a deposit of 100,000. They'll pick up the blade tomorrow, and it must be sharpened. He seems to have expected Fang Tianxiao to accept the deal. Fang Tianxiao looks at the generous Zhang Qing, picks up the bank card, reads the password on it, his eyes growing more puzzled. But in the end, he nods and says, all right, I accept the deposit. Come pick up the blade tomorrow at 3 p.m. Zhang Qing grins, cups his fist in salute to Fang Tianxiao, and says, as expected of the great manager of the Fang family, straightforward enough. Farewell. He then turns and leaves the weapon shop, leaving behind a bewildered Fang Tianxiao. Great manager of the Fang family. Watching Zhang Qing's departing back, Fang Tianxiao looks puzzled, his brows furrowed. 100,000 deposit buying a blade to be sharpened. What a strange young man. Leaving the Fang's weapon shop, Zhang Qing immediately found a nearby 5-star hotel to stay in. If it weren't for the impending apocalypse, he would never choose such an expensive hotel, but now it's all about enjoying himself to the fullest. Because in just 72 hours, no matter how good the hotel is, it will turn into ruins. By then, countless mutated white monsters and ferocious beasts will destroy everything, leaving the world in tatters with corpses strewn everywhere and desolation as far as the eye can see. Sitting on the sofa and enjoying a delicious dinner just delivered by the waiter, Zhang Qing gradually relaxed. For the past 10 years his mind had never been as relaxed as it was at this moment. If it weren't for the resilient mindset he developed since childhood, he would have gone mad during the 10 years of the apocalypse. He witnessed countless people collapse from mental pressure, becoming mere meals for the beasts. After a hearty meal, Zhang Qing lay on the soft and comfortable bed, gazing at the dreamlike starry sky. The most important thing now is to find a way to obtain the destiny wheel. In the initial stage, everyone is still exploring, and even if they get the destiny wheel, they won't know how to use it. And I can take advantage of this gap to gather all the wheels I encounter. Perhaps I can even obtain the purple gold wheel and the diamond wheel, making it much easier for me to become a heavenly level powerhouse in the future. Zhang Qing's eyes flickered as he contemplated where to start his actions. In the apocalypse, the destiny wheel is undoubtedly essential for any powerful individual. Although he has never possessed a wheel, he has spent a great deal to turn one himself. However, others' destiny wheels, even the lowest level bronze wheel, are extremely expensive. Each time you turn it, you have to pay double the source crystals. Moreover, even if you have enough source crystals, you can only find wheels of the golden level at most. As for the more precious platinum, purple gold wheel and diamond, no one would easily let others turn them. It is rumored that only the platinum wheel, purple gold wheel, and diamond wheel are considered true destiny wheels. As for why they are called that, Zhang Qing, who was merely a level 7 warrior in his past life, had no idea, and no one would tell him. Zhang Qing only knew that the higher the level of the wheel, the more precious the items obtained from it, including legendary heavenly materials and earthly treasures. And what was that white light that sent me back 10 years? Could it also be a destiny wheel? But I've never heard of a white jade wheel before. Zhang Qing carefully recalled the scene from before, feeling as if his head had been struck by a heavy object truly resembling being hit by the destiny wheel. Could there really be a white jade wheel? Zhang Qing crossed his hands behind his head, looking at the starry sky on the ceiling. Suddenly a flash of white light appeared before him, and he felt something fly out from between his eyebrows. Zhang Qing abruptly sat up, his gaze fixed on a corner of the room, where a gigantic wheel radiating a soft white jade glow had unexpectedly appeared. The wheel had a diameter of nearly 2.5 meters, with the surface divided into 11 equal triangular sections and a thumb-thick white jade pointer in the center. On the colorful sections, various item patterns were marked, resembling a lucky wheel from a shopping mall. It really is a destiny wheel, a white jade wheel that has never appeared before. Zhang Qing hurriedly jumped off the bed and approached the white jade wheel, caressing its cool, smooth surface, his heart pounding. The wheel upgrade port, the wheel rotation port, the wheel item change port, all 3 source crystal entrances are complete. It truly is the destiny wheel. Zhang Qing crouched down, staring at the 3 source crystal entrances on the green jade base of the wheel, his eyes growing increasingly fervent and his breathing becoming more rapid. Even with his mental fortitude, which had long been honed to remain unflinching in the face of adversity, he truly couldn't find words to express the excitement in his heart. Reborn 10 years ago with a white jade wheel that had never appeared before, Zhang Qing began to suspect that he might truly be the fabled son of destiny. Right next is the blood acknowledgement of the master. It is said that wheels above the platinum level require blood acknowledgement to rotate. Zhang Qing's eyes sparkled with excitement as his feelings gradually calmed. He raised his right index finger and bit through a layer of skin. He pressed hard to squeeze out the bright red blood from his finger and dripped it onto the surface of the wheel. In no time, the blood was indeed absorbed by the wheel, and the white jade glow on the surface of the wheel completely receded. At this moment, the white jade wheel appeared just like an ordinary white jade lucky wheel, devoid of the previous sense of sacredness and ethereality. Simultaneously, a vast amount of information suddenly appeared in Zhang Qing's mind. Countless streams of information surged like a torrential flood, crashing through his brain. In the end, he rolled his eyes and fainted. At 2 in the morning, under a starry sky, Zhang Qing slowly regained consciousness, staggering as he stood up and walked into the bathroom. First, he turned on the faucet and washed his face vigorously. Lifting his head and looking in the mirror at his handsome features, the light in Zhang Qing's eyes grew brighter. So the white jade wheel is the true destiny wheel. Zhang Qing muttered to himself in the mirror. While he was unconscious, he had completely absorbed the information from the white jade wheel. The white jade wheel belongs to the highest level among the wheels and is the true destiny wheel in every sense. The so-called destiny wheel exists as long as there is a person. If the person dies, the wheel will be destroyed. The two are completely integrated, flourishing together or perishing together. Below the white jade wheel, there are also the diamond wheel, purple gold wheel, platinum wheel, golden wheel, silver wheel, and the lowest level bronze wheel. There are a total of 7 levels, and each level of the wheel belongs to a vastly different existence. Zhang Qing learned from the information transmitted by the white jade wheel that as long as the wheel level reaches platinum, it requires blood acknowledgement to master, and can also be integrated into one's body. In contrast, the golden wheel, silver wheel, and bronze wheel do not require blood acknowledgement to master and cannot be integrated into the body, making them treasures that anyone can obtain. No wonder everyone was willing to let others turn the golden wheel back. Then it turns out this is the reason. Zhang Qing walked out of the bathroom, sitting at the edge of the bed, his eyes filled with joy as he gazed at the white jade wheel. However, he soon wore a troubled expression. While it is true that higher-level wheels are better, correspondingly the source crystals consumed to turn the wheel also increase exponentially. For the lowest level bronze wheel, each rotation only requires one level 1 source crystal. But for the silver wheel, the source crystals needed double. 2 level 1 source crystals are required to turn it. By extension, the higher the level of the wheel, the more source crystals are required for a single rotation. Zhang Qing calculated carefully that turning the white jade wheel once would require a whopping 64 level 1 source crystals, equivalent to turning the bronze wheel 64 times. Indeed, the more precious the item, the less affordable it is for the poor. This principle holds true even in Zhang Qing caressed the smooth surface of the white jade while carefully examining the items on its surface and found that none of them were familiar to him. First tier white jade fruit, first tier forging technique, first tier breathing method, first tier meteor crossbow, first tier golden wound medicine, first tier purple eye technique, first tier deep sea cold iron, first tier blade, slash, first tier spirit pill, first tier top tier evolution potion. And there is one last mysterious area. As Zhang Qing murmured, descriptions of those items surfaced in his mind, causing his heart to race once again. These items seem tailor-made for him. And this is the magic of the destiny wheel, which can determine the necessary items based on the owner's physique and thoughts. So evolution potions are also graded. No wonder warriors of the same level can vary in strength. Zhang Qing felt that his 10 years in the apocalypse were wasted, having never used an evolution potion above the most basic level. At this moment, he realized that evolution potions are actually divided into 4 levels: low, intermediate, advanced, and top tier. Given my current strength, I should have no problem slaying a first-tier white monster, but if I encounter a second-tier white monster or a powerful first-tier fierce monster, I fear I may not be up to the task. Even if I face more than 5 first-tier white monsters, it would likely turn into a bloody battle. It seems I need to slowly gather more source crystals. Lying on the bed, Zhang Qing calculated carefully in his mind. Spinning the wheel requires 64 source crystals, which is indeed a significant expenditure. Especially now, it is extremely challenging for him. At this moment, his physical strength and speed are no different from an ordinary person. Although he trains regularly, he is only slightly stronger than his peers. If it weren't for his 10 years of battle experience in the apocalypse, he wouldn't dare face those bloodthirsty and brutal white monsters alone. Yet with his rich combat experience from his past life, he now feels confident that he can confront a first-tier white monster with this ordinary body. However, if he encounters a stronger second-tier white monster, he can only choose to flee. Nonetheless, encountering second-tier white monsters at the start of the apocalypse is nearly impossible. Generally, it is only about a week after the apocalypse begins that second-tier white monsters start to appear, and the further it goes, the higher the level of the white monsters that appear. If only I could find a source crystal mine, then I could spin the white jade wheel without worries. Zhang Qing carefully recalled the locations of source crystal mines from his past life, and found that the closest one was over 800 kilometers away. However, this thought was quickly dismissed as source crystal mines only appeared after global anomalies and significant geographical changes. Going there now would be futile. Moreover, mining source crystal mines requires tremendous manpower and resources, which is not something he can accomplish alone. Most importantly, every source crystal mine is bound to be surrounded by many powerful fierce monsters, making it inaccessible to ordinary people. In the apocalypse, all source crystal mines are controlled by major powers and formidable fighting groups. Ordinary apocalypse squads simply have no qualification to meddle, let alone individuals. Even an incredibly powerful celestial-level expert cannot monopolize a source crystal mine. I suppose the most prudent approach is to first hunt some white monsters and fierce monsters. Zhang Qing's gaze flickered. There are only 2 ways to obtain source crystals. The first is a natural source crystal mine, and the second is the blood source crystals condensed from the bodies of white monsters and fierce monsters. Blood source crystals are essentially the same as source crystals, but since they are crystallized from the heart's blood of the monsters, they generally contain traces of blood, hence the name blood source crystals. Both types of source crystals serve the same function. They can be used to spin the wheel and can also be absorbed as an energy source by powerhouses above the Xian level. This white jade wheel must not be exposed until I have enough strength, or it will surely lead to disaster. With a thought, Zhang Qing made the white jade will transform into a white light and fly into his brow. Having established a bloodline connection with the white jade wheel, Zhang Qing could clearly feel it quietly hovering in his spiritual sea at this moment. As long as he thought about it, the white jade wheel would immediately fly out. Stepping on disposable slippers, Zhang Qing walked to the floor-to-ceiling window, looking up at the bright moon in the night sky, feeling that all of this was somewhat surreal. At the same time, his confusion grew. How did the eerie mist appear? Why was there no warning from anyone before? What about the starry corridor that will appear in 10 years? One mystery after another confounded Zhang. Moreover, this rebirth 10 years back also felt very strange to Zhang Qing, as if someone were manipulating his fate from the shadows. Since I am here, I shall accept it. After all, I have died once. Is there anything more terrifying than death? Zhang Qing's eyes flickered. Having relied on his grandmother since childhood, he has long since seen through the warmth and coldness of the human world. Coupled with the baptism of 10 years in the apocalypse, his heart is now as firm as a rock. His only goal now is to live well. Tonight, I will have a good sleep. I haven't had a peaceful sleep in 10 years, so tonight, I will indulge myself. Zhang Qing returned to bed, turned off the lights, closed his eyes, and enjoyed this beautiful night. In just 2 days, he might have to return to that brutal era where he had to sleep with one eye open. At noon, the piercing sunlight streamed through the massive floor-to-ceiling curtains, illuminating the handsome face on the bed. Zhang Qing opened his eyes abruptly, sitting up from the bed. His long-standing habit made him instinctively scan the entire room with sharp eyes. After confirming that there were no issues, he willed it, and a flash of white light appeared in front of him, revealing the massive white jade wheel by the wall. Looking at the patterns of items on the wheel, Zhang Qing's eyes sparkled with brilliance. He knew that everything that happened last night was real. He truly possesses his own destiny wheel now. First, I will eat something before heading to the Fang's weapon shop. Zhang Qing retracted the white jade wheel back into his brow, walked into the bathroom, shirtless, washed up, and then put on the new outfit he bought yesterday. Wearing a black sun hat, a black landscape t-shirt on top, black trousers below, and black lace-up boots, he was dressed entirely in black. In the scorching summer, such attire stood out distinctly in the hotel restaurant. However, Zhang Qing did not care about others' opinions. He casually ordered a few dishes and turned his gaze to the Zijing Mountain outside the hotel. Currently, Zijing Mountain's highest peak is only about 450 meters, but in a month it will transform into a colossal mountain, rising 3,000 meters high. With the mountain rapidly rising, numerous rare minerals will emerge within Zijing Mountain, becoming a competitive ground for the major forces in the future. After a hearty meal, Zhang Qing drove his second-hand off-road vehicle towards the Fang family's weapon shop at the foot of Zijing Mountain. At 2:59 in the afternoon, his figure appeared punctually at the entrance of the shop. As soon as he stepped into the shop, Zhang Qing saw 2 familiar silhouettes standing gracefully by a wall adorned with various weapons, gazing dreamily at the items hung upon it. Both figures possessed long, slender legs. One was dressed in a stylish, minimalist white shirt and light blue jeans, while the other had flowing long hair and wore a demure white checkered skirt. From the elegant curves viewed from the back, both young women were stunning beauties, each with her unique charm. Zhang Qing entered the shop without alarming the 2 girls, quietly surveying the space and waiting. The shop covered an area of nearly 100 square meters with walls on both the north and south sides, filled with various weapons. In the middle stood a rectangular display case containing exquisitely crafted swords and knives. "Oh, what are you doing here?" Just as Zhang Qing reached the display case, admiring a majestic knife that was 1 meter and 60 centimeters long, a delicate voice reached his ears. What a coincidence! Zhang Qing looked up with a faint smile, recognizing that the 2 girls in the shop were Pei Yushan and the long-haired girl he had encountered on the train yesterday. "How strange, shouldn't you be at school right now? What brings you here?" Pei Yushan asked, her curious gaze fixed on, "Aren't you both here, just like me?" Zhang Qing's lips curled slightly, not answering Pei Yushan's question. "Little brother, you're here." Seemingly hearing the noise from outside, the tall Fang Tianxiao strode out from behind the uncle. "Is that the young man you mentioned who wants to buy a knife?" The long-haired girl pointed at Zhang Qing, her expression exaggerated. "Qing, no rudeness." Fang Tianxiao's face turned serious as he coldly addressed the long-haired girl. The long-haired girl stuck out her tongue, casting an apologetic glance at Zhang Qing, seemingly aware of her abruptness due to strict upbringing. Zhang Qing found it of little concern, but he hadn't expected the long-haired girl to be Fang Tianxiao's niece. However, he had no impression of the long-haired girl. Either she was of mediocre talent, or she would soon transform into a white ghoul in 2 days. "By the way, little brother, the knife you wanted is ready. Would you like to see it now?" After reprimanding the long-haired girl, Fang Tianxiao turned to Zhang Qing. "Sure." Zhang Qing nodded, somewhat anticipating what kind of knife Fang Tianxiao had prepared for him. In the apocalyptic world of his past life, weapons produced by the Fang family's weapon shop were highly sought after. With the emergence of the Destiny Roulette, the forging level of Fang's weapons had greatly improved. Later, due to the introduction of the Weapon Quality Assessment Ruler, weapons were classified into various grades. The lowest grade was the common weapon, which was further divided into 4 tiers: inferior, medium, superior, and top-notch. Above common weapons, there were also treasure weapons, mysterious weapons, and spiritual weapons, each with its own 4-tier classification. In his previous life, the long knife he possessed was a top-quality common weapon, and despite being merely a common weapon, it required 300 level 1 source crystals to acquire in the apocalypse. Please wait a moment. After speaking, Fong Tianxiao turned and walked into the weapon forging workshop at the back of the shop to retrieve the weapon for Zhang Qing. Classmate, what's your name? Pei Yushan asked curiously, sensing that Zhang Qing seemed to conceal some secret. She had heard Fong Tianxiao mention what happened yesterday when she arrived. A college freshman who just arrived in Jinling City, instead of going to register at school, ran to the weapon shop to buy a knife and even requested it to be sharpened. Zhang Qing could see the curiosity in Pei Yushan's eyes. He didn't mind forming a good relationship with her, as they might have opportunities to collaborate in the future. In the apocalypse, survival was a struggle for one individual. To live longer, one must affiliate with a powerful. Even powerful heavenly-level experts rarely ventured alone in the apocalypse, and they often sought out major forces to serve as their offerings. Heavenly-level experts and major forces often formed strategic alliances, one side to counter the attacks of ghouls and the other to protect their territory. The apocalypse was not just a war between humans and ghouls, but also a conflict of interests among humans. Many times conflicts between humans were far more brutal than battles with ghouls. You already know my name, Pei Yushan, and this is Yuan Qingqing, my good friend. Pei Yushan nodded, introducing Zhang Qing nodded, and the three of them had officially acquainted themselves. Classmate Zhang Qing, didn't you register at school yesterday? Yuan Qingqing asked curiously with her slender eyes. No, I don't plan on attending school, Zhang Qing replied calmly, his words startling the two girls. Why? The two girls asked in unison. I'm sorry, but that's my personal matter. Zhang Qing's expression turned cold, emanating an aura that kept others at a distance. The two girls sensed the change in Zhang Qing's demeanor. Although they were deeply puzzled, they did not press further, leaving the atmosphere in the shop somewhat awkward. At that moment, Fong Tianxiao emerged from behind the curtain, holding a long, dark red box nearly 1.5 meters long. Little brother, here's the knife. Fong Tianxiao, unaware of the tense atmosphere among the three, placed the dark red box on the display case. Zhang Qing eagerly opened it, revealing a nearly 1 meter and 40 centimeters long black knife. The black knife had a narrow and straight blade with a pointed tip and two blood grooves resembling the wings of a bird. The entire blade was as dark as ink except for the 6mm sharp edge that glinted with a pale white light. Zhang Qing immediately recognized the quality of this black knife. It was undoubtedly a peak common weapon. What a fine knife. Zhang Qing grasped the handle wrapped in non-slip black waxed rope. With his right hand, it felt slightly heavy. With his left hand, he lifted the blade and praised it sincerely. He could tell that the quality of this black knife was definitely not lower than that of a superior common weapon and likely reached the level of a top-notch common weapon. This knife, Lark, has a total length of 136 centimeters, a blade length of 103 centimeters, a handle length of 33 centimeters, a net weight of 6 Gene, a blade width of 4 centimeters, and a blade thickness of 0.5 centimeters. It was forged using a secret technique passed down from the Tang dynasty. To create this knife, I used the pure mountain spring from Zijin Mountain to temper the blade. The material of the blade is made from the highest quality high-carbon alloy, undoubtedly one of the best weapons I have forged in 30 years, Fong Tianxiao said proudly. Within Jinling City, he considered himself second in weapon forging, with no one daring to claim the first position. If not for feeling that Zhang Qing was somewhat unpredictable and had put down such a large deposit, he would have been reluctant to take out this treasured Tang knife he had kept for many years. I absolutely trust Master Fong's craftsmanship. Zhang Qing stroked the cold blade and noticed the words Lark engraved at the base. Lark, what a beautiful name. The Tang knife Lark gleamed with brilliance. Clang. Zhang Qing flicked the blade with a fingertip. The crisp note rippled through the shop and made everyone start and take notice. I did not expect shopkeeper Fong could forge a Tang Dao of such caliber. Truly astonishing. I will take this blade. As for the remaining payment, name your price. Zhang Qing placed the Tang Dao yunk into a dark red wooden box, then turned to Fong Tianxiao and spoke earnestly. Before Fong Tianxiao could reply, Yuan Qingqing anxiously said, Uncle, are you really going to sell yunk? Can you bear to part with it? She knew full well that forging yunk had once consumed Fong Tianxiao's utmost care and effort. For years it had been kept as the shop's treasured heirloom. Yet Yuan Qingqing never imagined Fong Tianxiao would sell it to a university freshman who had not even stepped on a campus. Besides, Zhang Qing did not look like a martial practitioner. Pale, tall, and thin, he resembled a frail scholar. It is all right, this young man is fated to the blade, so I decided to sell yunk to him, Fong Tianxiao said with an open, warm smile. Yesterday, when he had taken yunk out to clean it, Zhang Qing happened to be in the shop and specifically asked for the blade, so he felt perhaps there truly was a bond between them. Rest assured, shopkeeper Fong, this blade will never be consigned to obscurity in my hands, Zhang Qing said, his eyes flashing with a keen light as a faint chill seemed to emanate from him. You practice martial arts? Pei Yushan asked, appraising Zhang Qing with interest. Not formal martial arts, he replied. Only a few life-saving techniques gleaned from real combat. Zhang Qing spoke without hiding anything. He was considering whether to reveal some truths to Fang Tianxiao and Pei Yushan so they might prepare themselves. From combat, Pei Yushan's expression turned odd, wondering if he was speaking nonsense. Why is the sky darkening? Yuan Xingqing looked up at the sky and saw that the clear heavens had suddenly filled with rolling black clouds. The surging mists seemed to be rushing toward Jinling City. What? Zhang Qing's face changed abruptly. He strode outside and looked up to see a tide of black clouds pouring in from the eastern horizon. The Guiwu has arrived ahead of time. Zhang Qing trembled, his mind quivering as his gaze shifted. What was due to appear in 2 days had come prematurely. It caught him off guard, though he had prepared all he could. Still, from the depths of his mind, there lingered a vague sense that something had been forgotten. What kind of fog is this? Pei Yushan and Zhang Qing stood side by side, bright eyes fixed on the rolling clouds, their brows knitted with concern. Zhang Qing inhaled deeply, steadied himself, and in a solemn tone told the three of them, "All I can say now is that the world has entered a time of catastrophe. In the moments ahead you will see many incredible things, and I do not even know how to explain them." Looking at Zhang Qing's earnest, grave face, Fang Tianxiao recalled the words of a venerable elder from 3 years ago. In 3 years the world may face a great calamity. "I believe you. Can you tell me everything you know?" Fang Tianxiao asked earnestly. Zhang Qing was taken aback. "You believe what I say?" Zhang Qing was momentarily stunned that Fang would trust him. "Because 3 years ago someone told me something similar." Fang Tianxiao's eyes flickered. He explained that the elder was a towering figure in Longwo's arms trade, someone who had personally forged ceremonial weapons for many national leaders, and thus possessed knowledge ordinary people lacked. 3 years ago, Zhang Qing's expression shifted. He felt that his former self had been deceived, that indeed the people of Longwo had been kept in the dark. Could someone have known about the Guiwu all along? Zhang Qing murmured. The more he pondered, the more plausible it. Luosheng is so small. How could a globe encompassing Guiwu appear without cause or any prior omen? That defies all reason. Hearing Fang Tianxiao's words, Zhang Qing concluded that the Guiwu did not appear out of thin air. Someone had known of its existence long ago and had concealed it. "Zhang Qing, what is this Guiwu?" Pei Yushan, now realizing the severity of the matter, asked with a grin. "I do not truly know what the Guiwu is, but if one inhales too much of it, the body mutates. Many people will transform into Guiwu white Gui beasts, like humanoid shark-like creatures with tentacles. Or to put it another way, they resemble the white spiked forms from the Hezhongguo film Tomorrow's War. They have razor-sharp tentacles and developed limbs, able to walk upright or crawl on all fours. Each is nimble, bloodthirsty, and brutal. Moreover, they continue to evolve, specializing in hunting humans." Zhang Qing recalled the forms of the Guiwu as he described them. "Zhang Qing, you are telling an apocalypse story. How could that be?" Yuan Xingqing raised to trust in science and well-read expressed disbelief, though she thought he was spinning wild tales. "Xingqing, do not interrupt, Brother Zhang. If you do not wish to listen, go rest inside." Though Fang Tianxiao found Zhang's account strange, he adopted a better Saphathancery attitude. If everything Zhang said proved true, then humanity's end might truly be at hand. Whether you believe it or not, it is already happening. Within an hour, the first wave of Guiwu will complete their mutation, and slaughter and chaos will follow. By now, Zhang Qing had calmed completely. He looked at the young long blade resting in the dark red box, and a glint of excitement passed through his eyes. The apocalypse is a feast for the strong and a hell for the weak. The powerful will only become more formidable while the weak fade away, like a doomsday contest, seeing who can endure to the end. In his past life, he had barely taken the first step before dying in the Star Corridor. In this life, having obtained the Tianming Lunpan destiny wheel, Zhang Qing believed he could reach the end. One day, he would uncover the mystery behind the apocalypse's initiation and learn what force was pulling the strings. "By your account, will we become Guiwu too?" Pei Yushan frowned. Though she usually seemed careless at critical moments, she never faltered. She was meticulous to the smallest detail. "As long as you guard your true heart and preserve the essence of your humanity, do not let the beast within devour your nature. You will not become a Guiwu." Recalling his own state after inhaling goo, Zhang Qing spoke to the three with utmost seriousness. "The Guiwu's arrival is a cruel selection. Those deemed unfit will mutate into Guiwu. Animals of low sentience will without exception mutate into Meng Guiwu, ferocious Gui beasts. Even certain plants under the Guiwu's corrosive influence may mutate into special Mu Guiwu wood Gui beasts." "Brother Zhang, I have one last question. How do you know all this?" Fang Tianxiao asked, his gaze sharp and intent. "I cannot explain that answer yet. If circumstances allow in the future, I will tell you," Zhang Qing said. And then Zhang Qing shifted the topic, saying, "There are many things I cannot explain right now. Oh, perhaps they are just dreams. Could it be that you saw the future in your dreams, where dreams and reality overlap? Many people have encountered the future in their dreams." Yuan Qingqing displayed a contemplative expression resembling an old scholar deep in thought. Now is not the time to discuss this. The eerie mist has arrived ahead of schedule. You must prepare for defense quickly. The first phase is to endure the period of anomalies. What follows will be a brutal and bloodthirsty era. Zhang Qing's voice was cold. Shiyun cousin is still in university. Shouldn't we inform him of this matter and have him return quickly? Yuan Qingqing blinked her beautiful eyes and expressed her evident concern for Shiyun. No, Shiyun would never believe that the apocalypse is coming. It's impossible to explain clearly over the phone. Fang Tianxiao shook his head, understanding him like a father knows his child. Fang Shiyun was proud and had never liked listening to others' opinions, let alone believing in rumors of the end times. Then let's go to the school now and bring our cousin back. There should still be time. Yuan Qingqing looked at the grayish, eerie mist in the sky, which seemed to have already drifted into Jinling City. Hearing the conversation between Yuan Qingqing and Fang Tianxiao, Zhang Qing suddenly remembered something extremely important. School. Hammer. Zhang Qing's pupils dilated as he finally recalled the matter he had forgotten. He had to go save Zhao Tiechue. Zhao Tiechue, whose real name was Zhao Dagong, was his best brother in his past life, and also his roommate in university. After the apocalypse broke out, he and Zhao Tiechue fought their way out, escaping Jinling City. If it weren't for Zhao Taichue's existence, he wouldn't have even been able to leave Jinling University. Later the two of them fled together, enduring hardships and sharing joys and sorrows. They were true brothers in life and death. Even when faced with life and death crises, they would not abandon or give up on each other. Until one day, 3 years into the apocalypse, during a hunting operation, their 10-member team was ambushed by a 100-member team of evolved beings. To give him a chance to escape, Zhao Tiechue fought desperately to block the enemies. In the end, Zhao Tiechue fought to his death, shouting for him to escape as quickly as possible. Afterward, that team cut off Zhao Taichue's head to lure him out, displaying it on the tip of a spear, flaunting their power. Thinking of this, Zhang Qing's killing intent surged, and his anger flared. Back then, he was too weak. Even until he died in the Starry Sky Corridor, he couldn't avenge Zhao Tiechue. But in this life, he would never allow such a tragedy to happen again. Brother Zhang, what's wrong? Fang Tianxiao sensed the icy aura emanating from Zhang Qing, his expression slightly tightening. Sorry, I remembered some past events. I need to go to Jinling University as well. There is another brother of mine there. Zhang Qing took a deep breath, knowing that if he had the chance to encounter that 100-member team of evolved beings again in this life, he would definitely annihilate them. Sure, then we'll go with you. Yuan Qingqing suggested happily from the side. Qingqing, your health is fragile. You shouldn't go. Stay here so Uncle Fang can protect you. Pei Yushin's delicate face showed a hint of worry. She was concerned that if what Zhang Qing said was true, whether Yuan Qingqing could survive the period of anomalies was uncertain. Going with them to Jinling University was too risky. Yushan is right, you stay here and don't go anywhere. Your cousin can just have Yushan go find him. Fang Tianxiao added, knowing Pei Yushin's strength. Even in his hands, she could withstand hundreds of moves, and she was a standout among the younger generation in the martial arts community. Shopkeeper Fang, this card has over 1 million, or it should be enough to buy this Cloud Sparrow, and I want this imposing meow. Zhang Qing took out the Cloud Sparrow long knife wrapped in yellow silk from the box, then pointed at the imposing meow knife in the display case. No need for money. If what you say is true, money will be of no use in the future. Take this meow knife. Also, we'll give you the sheath for the Cloud Sparrow. Fang Tianxiao hurriedly said, then rushed into the back of the shop. In less than a minute, he came out with an ancient black alloy carved knife sheath. Zhang Qing accepted the sheath, then unceremoniously opened the display case and took out the imposing meow knife that was 1.60 meters long, along with the iron knife sheath. This meow knife was prepared for Zhao Tiechue. With his keen eye, he could easily see that although this meow knife was slightly inferior to the Cloud Sparrow, it should still reach the level of a top-grade mundane weapon. In his past life, Zhao Tiechue had dreamed of owning an awe-inspiring meow knife. In this life, this meow knife was Zhang Qing's first gift to him. Uncle Fang, lend me a long gun. Pei Yushan saw the 2 long knives in Zhang Qing's hands and turned to Fang. Okay, wait a moment, Fang Tianxiao said, and then quickly walked into the back room. After a while, he returned with a 2-meter-long silver diamond-tipped long gun and a genuine carved wild goose feather knife. This silver dragon gun is for you, and this wild goose feather knife you can take to Shiyun. Fang Tianxiao handed the silver dragon gun and the wild goose feather knife to Pei Yushan. Thank you, Uncle Fang. Pei Yushan was not being polite. With a knife in her left hand and a gun in her right, she appeared heroic and spirited. The eerie mist has begun to invade Jinling City. Oh, let's hurry and leave. Zhang Qing looked at the grayish-white eerie mist in the sky, which had already shrouded the entire Jinling City, his expression serious. Okay. Pei Yushan nodded and followed Zhang Qing out of the shop. Get in the car. Zhang Qing opened the door of the SUV parked at the shop's entrance, sat in the driver's seat, placed the Cloud Sparrow on the second-row seat, and said to Pei Yushan, Pei Yushan opened the passenger door first, placing the wild goose feather knife beside the seat, then twisting the barrel of the silver dragon gun to shorten it to a 1m8 short gun, holding it tightly. As soon as she sat down, she saw the third-row seat filled with bottled water and various foods, making her feel that Zhang Qing was becoming increasingly mysterious. At the same time, she wondered if the end of the world was really coming. From the vast supplies stored in Zhang Qing's car, it was clear that he had been well prepared, which also made Pei Yushan's heart grow uneasy. Although she was fearless, facing a disaster that would engulf all of humanity made her feel an unprecedented sense of fear rise in her heart. However, when she saw Zhang Qing's calm and steady handsome face, she felt much more at ease, as if staying by Zhang Qing's side made her feel very safe. It was a peculiar feeling. Zhang Qing was clearly very young, yet he exuded a sense of steadiness that belied his age. Virum. The car started and the six-cylinder engine roared to life. Zhang Qing rolled down the window and turned to Feng Tianxiao at the shop entrance, saying, "To kill the white eerie beast, you can only sever its head or shatter its heart. The same goes for the fierce eerie beast." After saying this, Zhang Qing slammed the accelerator, and the car shot out like an arrow, disappearing in the blink of an eye at the end of the street. "Qing, quickly call your parents and tell them about these matters," Feng Tianxiao said with a serious expression, watching the grayish-white clouds closing in his heart, increasingly trembling. He had a premonition that what Zhang Qing said might indeed be true. On a wide four-lane road, a black SUV surged forward at nearly 100 miles per hour, a blatant act of speeding in an urban setting. Yet the SUV charged ahead, heedlessly galloping like a runaway stallion and drawing furious curses from other drivers. With a piercing screech of brakes, it jolted to a sudden halt at a red light. "Zhang Qing, are you insane? Why drive so recklessly?" A sharp rebuke rang out from the passenger seat, followed by the dry, retching sound of nausea. "We're still over half an hour away from Jinling University. Without accelerating, traffic congestion could stretch our arrival to over an hour." Zhang Qing paid no mind to Pei Yushan's complaints, replying with icy composure. Beside him, Pei Yushan, pale-faced, drew a tissue from her pocket and wiped her lips. Relentless lane changes, abrupt accelerations, and sharp turns had left even this seasoned traveler on the verge of vomiting. She swore never again would she ride in a car driven by Zhang Qing. With a low hum, the traffic light turned green, and the SUV lunged forward once more, its violent acceleration threatening to hurl Pei Yushan from her seat. Only her seatbelt spared her from catastrophe. "You insufferable wretch." Her delicate features twisted in fury, her eyes blazed with indignation. To her, Zhang Qing showed not a shred of chivalry, utterly indifferent to her distress. Zhang Qing merely shrugged, tuning out her grievances entirely. The SUV's speed now neared 120 miles per hour. Such velocity was sheer terror on city streets. With no choice, Pei Yushan gripped the overhead handle tightly, bracing for another sudden stop. Soon the vehicle entered an ancient district where narrow two-lane roads forced its speed to plummet. "Don't rush. Didn't you say that even if the ghastly mist enters the human body, it requires a mutation phase before transforming into a white gassed beast? Since the mist has only just reached Jinling City, surely we still have a grace period." Pei Yushan watched Zhang Qing's furrowed brow and spoke softly, her tone uncharacteristically gentle, a stark contrast to her usual brash demeanor. "That may be true, but exceptions always exist." Before Zhang Qing could finish, his heart hammered violently as if danger were hurtling toward them at breakneck speed. A thunderous explosion shattered the air behind the vehicle. Zhang Qing's pupils contracted sharply. In the rearview mirror, he saw a private car, 20 meters back, violently flipped into the air, slamming headlong into the vehicle ahead. The two cars crumpled together. Glass exploded across the asphalt, metal warped grotesquely, and crimson flooded the interiors. Then a humanoid monstrosity, 2 meters tall, crowned with twin barbed tentacles, leapt onto the mangled wreckage. How could it appear so soon? Zhang Qing stared into the mirror, his face grim. Everything unfolding before him deviated sharply from the timeline he remembered 10 years ago. "Is that the white gassed beast you saw in your dreams?" Pei Yushan's eyes widened in horror as the mirror reflected a towering muscular abomination, 2 meters high, limbs corded with sinew, fangs, gleaming visage contorted in primal terror. Its body bulged with hypertrophied muscle and bone, jagged spines bristled along its spine, and 2 razor-sharp tentacles, nearly 4 meters long, extended from its back. Its eyes held no pupils, only void black orbs like those of a demon risen from the abyss. It matched Zhang Qing's earlier description precisely, reminiscent of the white spikes from the United States film The Tomorrow War, yet distinct in key ways, especially in scale. The white spikes dwarfed it. Moreover, the white spikes possessed not only far more powerful limbs, but also 2 short lethal foreclaws, and their tentacles served dual purposes: slashing weapons and adhesive suction pads capable of anchoring them to walls. By contrast, the white gassed beast's tentacles resembled hardened spears, designed solely to pierce even the toughest materials with devastating force. Chaos erupted instantly. Horns blared wildly across the street, pedestrians scattered in panic from the rooftop of a weathered 7-story building beside the road, came a shrill metallic shriek unlike any beast's roar, a grating ear-splitting cry of unnatural resonance. That single scream shattered Jinling City's tranquility, plunging the entire historic district into pandemonium. Zhangqing knew from this moment onward the apocalypse's curtain had risen. The hour of humanity's trial had begun. Within 3 days Jinling City would lie in ruins. Now do you believe what I told you? Zhangqing did not flinch at the white gassed beast's appearance, only grew colder, sharper, utterly composed. In the apocalypse, panic is death's herald. Only calm, unwavering resolve offers a path to... So what do we do now? Pei Yushan seized the silver dragon spear beside her, her fair, exquisite face taut with tension, and something else, fierce, electric anticipation. First, to Jinling University. After that, we leave the rest to fate. A glint of ruthless determination flashed in Zhangqing's eyes. He stomped the accelerator, slamming the sluggish car ahead into the curb, and sped toward Jinling University without hesitation. The white gassed beast atop the SUV heard the rooftop shriek and answered with its own piercing howl, launching itself onto the roof of a slow-moving sedan. Clack, clack. Its twin tentacles punched through the roof, impaling the driver, a bald man gawking idly at the chaos. His skull split open, his brain splattered, the tentacle pierced straight through his head, reducing him to a crimson, pulpy ruin. With its driver dead, the car careened wildly, smashing into 4 or 5 others before jamming sideways against a roadside barrier. Then came screams, raw, guttural, cut short as the white gassed beast began slaughtering pedestrians at will, its barbed tentacles and serrated claws tearing through flesh and bone. Are we truly going to stand by and watch them die? Through the rearview mirror, Pei Yushan watched the monster ravage traffic. Already 4 or 5 humans lay slaughtered beneath its merciless tentacles. There's a saying widely echoed in the apocalypse. Would you like to hear it? Zhangqing asked, voice eerily tranquil. What is it? Pei Yushan's gaze flickered with curiosity. Under the apocalypse, the weak were always meant to perish. A strange, ineffable sorrow darkened Zhangqing's eyes. Pei Yushan froze, her beautiful eyes widening in shock, then clouding with dawning complex understanding. Don't look at me like that. You'll understand why I say this once you've truly lived through the apocalypse. Zhangqing's expression remained impassive. He knew Pei Yushan hadn't yet shed her worldview, shaped since childhood by teachings that champion compassion, rescue, and selfless aid. But when the world drowns in darkness, who among us still dares to be the sole beacon of light? Along the way, Pei Yushan fell silent, her entire body tense, and her expression became exceptionally... Don't be nervous. Although the white phantom beast is powerful, as long as we find its weaknesses, we can achieve... Zhangqing glanced at the silent Pei Yushan and smirked, knowing she was still brooding over his earlier words. However, he believed that once she truly witnessed the cruelty of the apocalypse, she would understand him. I know the head and heart are its weaknesses. Pei Yushan gazed out the car window at the sky, discovering that the grayish-white mist was less than 30 meters above the ground, and many tall buildings had already been submerged by the mist. It seemed that a strange scent was also mixing in the air, slightly pungent. Zhangqing praised her, thinking that, as expected of a future top-tier expert with her meticulous nature, Pei Yushan's future achievements would be remarkable. Just past one more intersection, we will reach the entrance of the South Campus. I wonder if any white phantom beasts have appeared around here. Pei Yushan noticed the traffic light ahead and reminded Zhangqing, feeling a rising tension in her heart as the terrifying image of the white phantom beast from earlier was still fresh in her mind. At this moment, she doubted whether Zhangqing had crossed over from the future. Otherwise, why was he so calm upon seeing the appearance of the white phantom beast? I know. Zhangqing nodded, then pressed the accelerator. As the yellow light flickered, he swiftly turned the steering wheel and sharply veered into the left intersection. This time Pei Yushan did not say much, and even felt that Zhangqing was supposed to do this. Shortly after turning onto another road, the tall and simple entrance of Jinling University came into Zhangqing's view. The 4 gilded characters Jinling University on the grand entrance were particularly eye-catching. Since the apocalypse broke out, he had not returned for 10 years, and seeing the tall, simple school gate again brought a wave of emotions. If it weren't for the apocalypse, he would have graduated from Jinling University in peace, found a job, married, and lived a mundane life. But all of that is now impossible. Before the car even reached the school gate, Pei Yushan saw many students rushing out of the campus, their faces filled with panic and shock. It seems that some people in the school have mutated as well. Zhangqing's expression turned cold. He hadn't expected to arrive late. Now all he could do was hope that there weren't too many white phantom beasts inside the school. What should we do now? Pei Yushan tightly gripped her silver dragon spear, her eyes revealing some panic. What to do? Zhangqing firmly gripped the steering wheel, his eyes sharp. Of course we charge in. With that, he pressed the accelerator hard, ignoring the barriers at the school gate, and charged down the road into Jinling University. Beep beep. Facing the surging crowd, Zhang Qing honked the horn fiercely, and the car unhesitatingly rushed into the crowd. Several students who couldn't dodge were directly brushed aside by the SUV, while those behind quickly moved to the sides. If this were a normal time, Zhang Qing's reckless driving would have been stopped by righteous students and security guards. But at this moment the school was in chaos, and the security guards at the entrance had disappeared, so naturally no one stopped Zhang Qing's wild charge. The SUV sped through the familiar tree-lined avenue, and the number of students behind them dwindled. Zhang Qing's gaze swept around and noticed security guards with steel forks gathering in a certain direction. Based on his memory, Zhang Qing knew these guards were headed towards the library building. Could it be that someone in the library has mutated into a white phantom beast? Zhang Qing's eyes flickered as he planned to check it out. If a white phantom beast really appeared in the library, according to his understanding of Zhao Tietue, he would definitely go to join the fun. Because in his past life, Zhao Tietue was a warm-hearted fool. Along the way, there were still many students fleeing outside the campus, each with a look of terror on their faces, as if they had witnessed something extremely horrifying. Suddenly, a sharp screech came from the direction of the library, causing Zhang Qing and Pei Yushan to shudder. Someone in the campus has really turned into a white phantom beast. Pei Yushan's face turned slightly pale. Don't worry, the white phantom beasts appearing now are all newly spawned first-level white phantom beasts, and their combat ability is not strong. Any martial artist with a bit of strength can easily kill them. Zhang Qing spoke calmly, a hint of bloodlust flashing in his eyes. Really? Pei Yushan was still a bit skeptical. After all, she had just witnessed the ferocity of the white phantom beast on their way here. Just that terrifying killing form was enough to instill fear. As long as you remember the two weaknesses I mentioned, dealing with a first-level white phantom beast shouldn't be a problem, Zhang Qing said with certainty, but then he shifted the conversation, saying, however, if you encounter two white phantom beasts, your only option is to escape quickly. Pei Yushan took a deep breath, forcing herself to calm down, and nodded firmly, I understand. Zhang Qing smiled slightly. In fact, he wasn't sure if Pei Yushan could truly defeat a first-level white phantom beast. After all, he had never seen Pei Yushan's strength, saying this was only to boost her confidence. However, based on his past experiences, first-level white phantom beasts were indeed not strong. As long as there were ordinary people with strong physiques, 3 or more armed with weapons could completely kill a white phantom beast. Of course, the weapons referred to here are cold weapons. If it were firearms, a first-level white phantom beast wouldn't withstand a few bullets. Soon the vehicle driven by Zhang Qing arrived in front of a huge library plaza. At this moment, there were still scattered students around the plaza holding their phones and frantically filming a humanoid tentacled monster in the center of the square. And that tentacled monster was precisely a first-level white phantom beast. Get out of the car. Zhang Qing turned off the engine, picked up the lark knife from the back seat, opened the car door, and spoke to the visibly tense Pei Yushan. Okay. Pei Yushan clenched her silver teeth, opened the car door, and closely followed Zhang Qing. Zhang Qing approached the edge of the plaza and glanced around, seeing that the white phantom beast was surrounded by a dozen tall male students in the center, all wielding short knives, bench legs, wooden sticks, and daggers. Among them, a boy with a simple face, thick eyebrows, and big eyes caught Zhang Qing's attention. He stood about 1.9 meters tall, with a strong build, wearing a red, oversized t-shirt and brown shorts with a pair of unchanging black sneakers. It was Zhao Tietue, the person Zhang Qing was looking for. Sure enough, he is here. Zhang Qing was both surprised and delighted to see Zhao Tietue, confirming that he had not. What should we do now? Should we go help? Pei Yushan asked Zhang Qing, completely relying on him. Not yet, it's just a white phantom beast. Oh, we don't need to intervene. Zhang Qing's gaze swept around, noticing a group of students with long swords hastening towards them from a path by the lake to the east. It's the swordsmanship club members. The martial arts club is here too. Pei Yushan looked in another direction, where a group of students was also rushing over, led by a young man with sword-like eyebrows and piercing eyes. In front of the spacious library building, as a large crowd arrived, the white specter beast, surrounded in the middle, appeared somewhat uneasy, swinging its two bloodied sharp tentacles, attempting to attack the nearby students. Everyone step aside, let our swordsmanship society handle this beast. A powerful male voice echoed across the square, revealing a strong young man, holding a gleaming 3-foot-long sword, stepping into the center of the square. Li Mingyang, let us from the Martial Arts Society deal with this beast. Another slightly cold male voice rang out, belonging to the tall and stern-looking Fang Shiyun. Fang Shiyun, this beast is exceptionally fierce. Do you intend to kill it with that wooden stick in your hand? The sturdy young man, named Li Mingyang, taunted, while deliberately waving his sharp sword. Even with a wooden stick, I could still kill it. Fang Shiyun replied coldly. Hiss, hiss, hiss. As if understanding their conversation, the white specter beast, surrounded by the crowd, let out 3 consecutive shrieks into the sky, the piercing sound causing everyone to step back. This is bad, it's summoning more white specter beasts. Zhang Qing's face darkened as he witnessed the white specter beast's continuous howling. He secretly cursed the Martial Arts Society and Swordsmanship Society students in the square for being fools rushing to confront the white specter beast. Soon they would realize that the endless white specter beasts would engulf the entire Jinling city, and even their companions nearby would turn into white specter beasts. Hiss, hiss, hiss. Before long, a chorus of howls echoed throughout the campus, causing the expressions of all present to shift dramatically. Hand the Yinling knife to Feng Shiyuan. A bloody battle is about to ensue. Zhang Qing sighed silently. From the howls coming from all around, he could deduce that more than 10 white specter beasts had already appeared at Jinling University, and this number would continue to increase. If there were so many white specter beasts within Jinling University, then the number of white specter beasts in the entire Jinling city might have reached a truly terrifying figure. From Zhang Qing's previous experience, young men and women had the strongest immunity to the eerie mist. Thus, generally speaking, those aged between 18 and 36 were the least likely to mutate. However, this was not absolute. Many young men and women could still turn into white specter beasts due to weak willpower. Likewise, many elderly and children survived the mutation period without becoming white specter beasts. This eerie mist seemed more like a selection process aiming to turn all unqualified humans into bloodthirsty and savage white specter beasts. The remaining humans would become fodder for the white specter beasts. Only those who continuously grew stronger could survive. This was a brutal war of survival of the fittest. Those who survived would grow increasingly stronger, while the white specter beasts would also evolve and become more powerful. Oh. Just as everyone was in a state of panic, a sudden scream echoed from a small forest to the west of the square. Then a tall white specter beast emerged from the woods, piercing a student's body with its long sharp tentacles, raising it high above its head as it walked out slowly. Hiss! A roar erupted from within the library building, and under the terrified gazes of the crowd, 3 white specter beasts walked out from the library's entrance. Seeing this scene, everyone could not help but swallow hard. There were now 5 white specter beasts appearing, and the situation began to shift unfavorably for the humans. Zhang Qing cautiously scanned the surroundings with his eyes, and after confirming no additional white specter beasts appeared, he let out a quiet sigh of relief. Although 5 white specter beasts were somewhat tricky with so many of them, they should still be able to cope. But in the next moment he felt like cursing. Brothers, it's time to flee. The tall young man, Li Mingyang, seeing 4 more white specter beasts suddenly appear, immediately shouted and led a dozen students from the Swordsmanship Society to flee. This scene left all the students present in shock. Without the Swordsmanship Society students, they had effectively lost a third of their strength. Most importantly, they were armed with sharp weapons. These cowardly fools. Pei Yushan never expected the Swordsmanship Society members to be so fearful of death, her beautiful eyes filled with indignation. It's human nature, don't mind them. Zhang Qing opened the car door, took out a powerful Miao knife, and such things were far too common in the apocalypse. So what should we do now? Seeing Zhang Qing's calm demeanor, Pei Yushan felt slightly reassured. Only save Feng Shiyuan and Zhao Taizhu, ignore the others. Zhang Qing replied coolly, his eyes void of any emotion. What about the rest? Pei Yushan frowned slightly. If you want to help, I won't stop you, but my purpose here is singular. Zhang Qing said expressionlessly, then turned and walked toward the center of the square. What a cold-blooded guy. Pei Yushan muttered quietly, but still closely followed behind Zhang Qing. Just as Zhang Qing and Pei Yushan made their way to the center of the square, the 5 white specter beasts simultaneously launched an attack. In just one encounter, 5 students fell into a pool of blood. Everyone run. These monsters are not something we can withstand. Witnessing the bloody scene, a student shouted, immediately causing those around the square to scream and scatter in all directions. At this moment, the 3 white specter beasts in the library had joined the one in the square, their bloodthirsty gazes fixated on the 30 or so students present. Though they had the advantage in numbers, the psychological defenses of the crowd were crumbling little by little. With just one spark, they would all flee in panic. Shiyan, take this knife. At that moment, Feng Shiyan's face was pale when he suddenly heard a familiar voice. Yushan, why are you here? Feng Shiyan turned around to see Zhang Qing and Pei Yushan walking over together. It's a long story, I'll just take the knife for now. We'll discuss it when we have our weapons back. Pei Yushan handed the Yinling knife to Feng Shiyan. The Yinling knife. Feng Shiyan's eyes lit up as he received the Yinling knife, drawing out its gleaming 3-foot blade. His demeanor shifted instantly, sweeping away his previous despondency, becoming proud and unmatched. He exhibited the posture of one who holds the world with a knife in hand. Zhang Qing's gaze sharpened as he recognized that Feng Shiyuan was indeed a born warrior. The aura he exuded was unmatched among the young generation he had seen. No wonder the Feng weapon shop could boast 2 heavenly-level powerhouses during the apocalypse. Zhao Taizhu. Zhang Qing shouted at Zhao Tiezhu, who stood at the front of the crowd. Who called me? Zhao Taizhu turned around in confusion, recalling that nobody in Jinling University should know him by that nickname. Right here. Zhang Qing waved the powerful Miao knife in his hand and called out to Zhao Taizhu. Zhao Taizhu approached Zhang Qing filled with confusion and asked, "Brother, do you know me? I know you well, and I'm aware of everything about you, but this isn't the time for reminiscing. Take this Miao knife." Zhang Qing tossed the Miao knife into Zhao Taizhu's bewildered arms and then grabbed his wrist, heading towards the direction of the off-road vehicle. "Shiyun, we should go too." After struggling internally, Pei Yushan turned to Fang Shiyun and said, "We can't leave now. If I go, what will happen to these brothers?" Fang Shiyun shook his head and firmly refused. "I'm not going either. Who are you to drag me away?" Zhao Taizhu attempted to break free from Zhang Qing's grip, but found that Zhang Qing's fingers were like iron clamps tightly holding onto his wrist, making it impossible to escape. "My name is Zhang Qing, your good brother." Zhang Qing stopped not because of Zhao Taizhu's struggles, but because a roadblock had appeared in front of him. A particularly large white specter beast, standing nearly 2 meters 3 tall, appeared in front of his vehicle, blocking his path. Though all classified as level 1 white ghoul beasts, larger specimens possess greater strength, much like human warriors of the same rank, whose prowess still varies widely. HSSSS. A towering white ghoul beast lashed its elongated razor-sharp tentacles, poised to strike Zhang Qing at any moment. "Die if you dare stand in my way." Zhang Qing abruptly drew his Cloud Sparrow longsword and stepped forward. In a flash of steel, a half-meter-long tentacle severed cleanly and fell to the ground, staining the earth crimson. "Roar!" The massive beast roared in agony and lunged wildly at Zhang Qing. Zhang Qing's eyes blazed with murderous intent. Gripping the sword with both hands, he surged forward in a bow stance, twisted his body aside, and swept the keen Cloud Sparrow blade upward in a diagonal slash. Shrike! Blood erupted violently as a 3-chi gash tore open the beast's flank, from right waist to heart, deep enough to expose bone. Thud! The colossal body collapsed. In its obsidian eyes lingered disbelief, never imagining that this seemingly insignificant human before it could end its life in just 2 strikes. What a devastating sword technique. Fang Shiyun watched Zhang Qing slay the ferocious beast in 2 clean cuts, astonishment flooding his gaze and reverence sharpening his stare. Even he knew he could never accomplish such a feat in 2 blows against so formidable a foe. Pei Yushan too stood wide-eyed, utterly stunned. She recalled Zhang Qing claiming he had no martial training. Yet those lightning-fast, precise, ruthless strikes bore the unmistakable imprint of a decade's grueling discipline. A swordsman without formal martial arts training. Now at last Pei Yushan understood why Zhang Qing had paid such a steep price for his blade at Fang Family Armory. "Brother, you're incredible. Could you teach me too?" Zhao Taizhu stared in awe, voice thick with that. "If you wish to learn, I'll teach you later." Zhang Qing spoke calmly, then approached the beast's corpse. With the sword's sharp tip, he slit open the chest cavity, knelt, and plunged his hand into the pulpy, blood-soaked flesh, retrieving a peach-shaped, translucent, blood-red crystal the size of a ping-pong ball. This was the blood origin crystal, the core essence of the white ghoul beast, formed within the heart's atrium. The students who had been locked in standoff with the 4 beasts now witnessed Zhang Qing's decisive slaughter of the largest and rushed toward him en masse. HSSSS. All 4 beasts roared in unison and charged the students. A slender student lagged behind, and a ghoul's barbed tentacle pierced his chest. Pain contorted his face. Another student was thrown down and pinned beneath a beast before he could even cry out, fangs sheared through. The remaining 2 beasts each seized a target, lashing tentacles and slashing foreclaws, descending in frenzied slaughter. Within mere seconds, 7 or 8 students lay fallen in pools of scarlet. "Damn it!" Enraged by their comrades' brutal deaths, Fang Shiyun and Zhao Taizhu drew their wild goose saber and Miao Dao and charged headlong into battle. Zai, still far too soft-hearted. Zhang Qing watched them rush forth, murmured softly, and followed. Pei Yushan's expression brightened upon seeing Zhang Qing join the fray. Gripping her silver dragon spear tightly, she hastened after him. "Beast, face me instead." Zhao Taizhu gripped the black hilt of his Miao Dao and brought it down in a thunderous arc toward one beast. "You killed my brother, now die." Fang Shiyun saw 2 fallen students wearing the Martial Arts Society insignia, and fury ignited in his veins. Clutching his saber in one hand, he stormed toward a beast devouring a corpse. Zhang Qing intercepted one of the remaining beasts. Pei Yushan held the other at bay. Monster, Zhao Taizhu clearly possessed solid martial foundations. His Miao Dao whirled with roaring force. Within moments, the beast lay dismembered in grisly fragments. Tentacles, claws, and ash-gray flesh scattered across the ground, a sight that chilled the scalp. Fang Shiyun, demonstrably stronger, cleaved the beast's ashen skull from its body in just 3 strokes. As for Pei Yushan, she heeded Zhang Qing's words precisely. Her silver dragon spear became a tempestuous sea dragon, striking again and again at the beast's heart. 5 thrusts culminating in a fatal puncture straight through its core. Seeing all 3 dispatch their foes, Zhang Qing gave a subtle nod. Though this was their first hunt against white ghoul beasts, rage had drawn forth extraordinary strength from Feng Shiyun and Zhao Tiatui. At that moment, the final beast lunged, razor claws extended, straight at Zhang Qing. Calmly, he scraped his foot along the ground, accelerated, arched backward, and slid beneath the beast's ribs on his knees. Sparks flared as the cloud sparrow longsword scraped the earth. Then he rose swiftly and reversed the blade, driving it deep into the beast's back, straight into its heart. Shhhk. Expressionless Zhang Qing withdrew the blade. The beast convulsed once and crashed lifelessly to the ground. Unadorned yet lethal, that strike demanded supreme composure and mastery, beyond the reach of ordinary men. Incredible. Zhao Tiatui raised his thumb high, praising Zhang Qing with genuine awe. Feng Shiyun's gaze burned with fervor, as though beholding a priceless treasure, his soul stirred by an incandescent yearning for the way of martial mastery. Pei Yushan's eyes shimmered with deepening intrigue. Around them, students exhaled in collective relief, gazing upon the four with undisguised admiration and envy. Though the quartet's victory appeared effortless, all knew the peril they'd faced. The 7 or 8 corpses strewn upon the ground bore grim testament. Ignoring the crowd's stares, Zhang Qing extracted the origin crystals from all 4 slain beasts and tossed them into the vehicle. Curious, the others watched his movements, wondering what purpose those blood-red stones served. Brother Feng, what's happening? A pale-faced martial arts society member asked Feng Shiyun. Stay calm, don't panic. There must be a way forward. Though inwardly shaken, Feng Shiyun, president of the martial arts society, refused to show weakness. Zhang Qing, what should we do? Pei Yushan stepped forward to ask as Zhang Qing approached, and instantly every eye turned to him, as if he had become their de facto spiritual anchor. Zhang Qing's brow furrowed faintly as he surveyed the eager, youthful faces before him. Those whose homes are in Jinling, go home immediately. Those from elsewhere, find your way home fast. His words ignited immediate commotion. The urgency of contacting loved ones suddenly crystallized in everyone's mind. Yet none among them knew that white ghoul beasts were not confined to Jinling City. They had already emerged. Within a week, the entire world would become a hunting ground for these beasts, humans reduced to hiding in shadows or seeking sanctuary in fortified strongholds. Only Pei Yushan sensed the truth. Zhang Qing had no intention of protecting them. He meant to abandon them to fate, sending them home to perish alone. He's absolutely right. Getting home is paramount. Seek shelter at the Public Security Bureau and inquire about official countermeasures. Feng Shiyun himself had no answers, but echoed Zhang Qing's words. Yes, let's go to the bureau. It should be safer there, and perhaps we'll learn exactly what's unfolding. A bespectacled student spoke up, and others quickly agreed. Soon farewells were exchanged, some formed groups bound for the bureau, others for their homes. As the crowd dispersed, Pei Yushan quietly instructed them, when facing white ghoul beasts, do not panic. Sever the head or pierce the heart. Only then will they fall, utterly and finally. Zhang Qing stood to the side, watching the students leave, his eyes filled with indifference towards life. He knew that once these students left the school, at least half would perish along the way, yet he did not voice a warning. It wasn't that he was cold-blooded, but rather that this was the survival law of the apocalypse. In the apocalypse, only the strong can survive. The weak must either cling to the strong or choose to perish on their own. In the future apocalypse, human life is the cheapest commodity. A loaf of bread, a pack of cigarettes, a bottle of water, any of these could trade for a life. Though it is cruel, it is the harsh reality. Especially in the initial stage of the apocalypse, countless people are displaced, hiding in every corner, while monstrous beasts hunt humans at will. To compete for food and water, humans also turn against each other, leading to mutual slaughter. This period marks the darkest hour in human history, and from the very first day the beasts appeared, the entire world entered a new era. The apocalypse, the dark year, officially begins. This is the era of the strong, where the weak are preyed upon and survival of the fittest reigns, governed by the law of the jungle. What should we do now? Zhao Tiatui asked, shouldering a machete with a somewhat naive expression. I know you have many questions, but the urgent matter at hand is to leave here quickly. That's right, we came to the school specifically to find you. Let's head back to the weapons shop first, and then we can discuss what— All right, I'll follow your lead. Pei Yushan said, her silver dragon spear in hand, looking at the ground littered with corpses, her face turning pale. Feng Shiyun was indeed confused, lacking any opinions. Get in the car. Zhang Qing swiftly opened the car door, seated himself in the driver's seat, and spoke to the three. Pei Yushan took the passenger seat without hesitation, while Feng Shiyun and Zhao Tiatui sat in the second row with their long knives in hand. Looking at the third row filled with food and drinking water, Zhao Taichui's mouth gaped wide in surprise, and a glint of astonishment flashed in Feng Shiyun's eyes. Without explaining anything to the two, Zhang Qing started the car and drove away from the small square, heading towards the school's gate. The road was clear, yet they could still see terrified students rushing out from the classrooms, madly fleeing towards the— Simultaneously, sharp howls and screams echoed from all directions, reaching the ears of the four. The gray-white fog in the sky had begun to envelop the entire campus, now less than 20 meters from the ground. This is an extremely dangerous signal. According to Zhang Qing's past experiences, once the fog approached within 20 meters of the ground, 1/3 of the human population in Jinling City would become infected and mutated. This is a terrifying figure, indicating that the number of beasts will surge to 1 million within the next hour. Just thinking about it made Zhang Qing's scalp tingle, as he felt as if he was returning to the era of fleeing from his past life. Stop for a moment. As the car passed by a tall teaching building, Fang Shiyun suddenly shouted, his gaze drawn to the entrance of that building. There, a few students were surrounded by a dozen white beasts on the steps. Screech. The car came to a sudden halt, and Zhang Qing frowned slightly, asking, "What happened?" "I need to save them. My girlfriend is surrounded by those monsters." "I'm going to." Zhao Tietue, filled with righteous fervor, exclaimed with bright eyes. "What are you doing getting involved? She's not even your girlfriend." Zhang Qing knew Zhao Tietue well, realizing he had just arrived and had no girlfriend, so he coldly retorted, "But I can't just stand by and watch them die. Look, the ones surrounded are all girls. If we don't go, they're doomed." Zhao Taichue's gaze fell on the front of the teaching building. If not for a graceful figure in white wielding a long sword and protecting the girls, the beasts would have rushed in and torn them apart. "You don't need to worry about this, it's my own affair." Fang Shiyun, noticing Zhang Qing's reluctance to help, said with a cold expression. He had a proud personality and never liked asking others for help. Even though Zhang Qing had just demonstrated remarkable strength, it couldn't make him lower his proud head. Pei Yushin's expression was conflicted, unsure of which side to assist. Influenced by Zhang Qing's beliefs about the apocalypse during the journey, her internal beliefs seemed to be quietly changing. This is the only time, there won't be a next. Zhang Qing discerned the determination in Fang Shiyun's eyes and said coldly. Fang Shiyun was taken aback, then clasped his hands and said, "Thank you. I never expected you would agree." Pei Yushin's expression was complex, as Zhang Qing had shown behavior that was very cold-blooded before. But at this moment, she realized that Zhang Qing's heart was far from the cold and ruthless facade he displayed. "If you don't want to save anyone, we can ignore those two." Zhang Qing replied expressionlessly. "I forget I said anything." Pei Yushan, looking speechless, took her silver dragon spear and jumped out of the car. Taking a deep breath, Zhang Qing also exited the vehicle. Sensing the faint smell of blood in the air, a ruthless killing intent flashed in his eyes. Since they were going to kill, they would do it swiftly. The four of them, armed with their weapons, quickly arrived at the front of the teaching building. A glance revealed that there were at least 13 white beasts. Additionally, on the ground there were 2 dead white beasts and scattered broken limbs. "Qianjiao, I'm here to save," Fang Shiyun shouted as he approached within 10 meters of the white beasts, catching the attention of both the beasts and 5 girls on the steps. One of the slender girls with a charming face, upon hearing Fang Shiyun's voice, revealed a look of joy amidst her fearful eyes. "Shiyun is here, we're saved." The girls exclaimed in delight. Only the girl in a white dress with an ethereal demeanor remained cold in her expression. "Hiss." The white beasts noticed the arrival of Zhang Qing and the others, turning their bodies to attack the four. "Kill!" Fang Shiyun roared, leaping high into the air, swinging his knife towards the frontmost white beast. Pei Yushan and Zhao Tietue also joined the battle, engaging the beasts with their machetes and spears. Zhang Qing lagged behind, gripping his yonk knife tightly. As 2 white beasts engaged fiercely with Zhao Tietue, he ghosted behind them. With a swift stab, he pulled the blade out, instantly killing one white beast from behind. The other white beast sensed danger from behind and attempted to dodge, but Zhang Qing, quick as lightning, slashed horizontally, severing its grotesque head, which rolled to the ground. Blood gushed forth from the corpse like a fountain, causing several girls to scream in shock. The scene was full. After killing 2 white beasts, Zhang Qing continued to move with agility. The yonk knife in his hand acted like the Grim Reaper's scythe. Every time he struck, a white beast was taken down in an instant. His knife technique was executed flawlessly, and in the blink of an eye, Zhang Qing had single-handedly dispatched 6 of the 13 white beasts, significantly relieving the pressure on everyone. Roar. Just as Zhang Qing was about to assist Pei Yushan, a furious roar echoed in his ears, followed by a whooshing sound. A roll allowed Zhang Qing's head to evade a lethal strike, but as he stood up, 2 towering figures were already. Zhang Qing thrust the yonk knife like lightning towards the heart of the white beast on the right, but the one on the left swung its sharp claws towards his head. "I was careless." Zhang Qing's eyes hardened, and he could only grit his teeth, using his arm to shield his head. The anticipated pain did not come. Zhang Qing lowered his arm and saw a slender sword tip protruding from the heart of the white beast, with blood still dripping from the tip. Shoo! The sword tip was withdrawn, and the large body of the white beast collapsed, revealing a breathtaking figure with an ethereal grace. "Thank you." Zhang Qing did not expect that it was the girl in white who had saved him, and he expressed his gratitude. The girl in white lightly nodded her autumn-like eyes, looking at Zhang Qing with a hint of curiosity. At this moment, all 13 white phantom beasts in the arena had been slain, and only Zhao Tietue and Fang Shiyun had suffered minor injuries. Of course, if it weren't for the timely intervention of the woman in the white dress, Zhang Qing would have likely been the one most severely injured with a broken arm at best, or worse, lying dead on the spot. Thus, Zhang Qing was genuinely grateful to the woman in the white dress. At the same time, her sharp swordsmanship made Zhang Qing view her in a new light. He never expected that the seemingly delicate woman in white could wield such exceptional sword skills. That precise strike, which could only be achieved after years of arduous practice, was beyond the capability of an ordinary person, leaving Zhang Qing quite curious about her true identity. With such remarkable swordsmanship, she could not possibly remain unknown in the apocalypse. Yet he had no recollection of her in his mind. "Brother, are you all right? I saw those two beasts flank you earlier, and it gave me quite a scare." After the battle, several people gathered around, and Zhao Tietue couldn't help but speak up, his left arm bearing a 10-centimeter-long gash, blood flowing profusely. However, the wound wasn't deep, it was merely a surface laceration. "Don't worry, I'm tough, I'm fine." Zhang Qing habitually patted Zhao Tietue on the shoulder, as if returning to the days of fighting alongside him. "I'm sorry I caused everyone trouble." Fang Shiyun said, his face somewhat pale. Although he had easily slain a white phantom beast in front of the library building, he had become somewhat flustered when faced with the attack of multiple white phantom beasts. Had it not been for Zhang Qing's timely assistance in dealing with one of the beasts, he would have found it difficult to stand here unscathed. As it was, he still had a 3-centimeter-long scratch on his face, but it wasn't deep and wouldn't cause major harm. A small injury is still better than missing limbs, right? "It's nothing." Zhang Qing didn't blame Fang Shiyun. He was willing to give some regard to this young powerhouse who would one day be on the heavenly rankings. "Shiyun, what on earth happened?" Just as Zhang Qing finished speaking, a slender figure rushed into Fang Shiyun's embrace, trembling as she spoke. The slender figure was none other than Fang Shiyun's girlfriend, Wu Qianjiao. "With me around, it's all fine." Fang Shiyun gently patted Wu Qianjiao's back, revealing a rare tenderness in his eyes, clearly showing his genuine affection for her. "What do we do now? We only have one vehicle, and it's too crowded here." Pei Yushan looked at the terrified girls, clearly unwilling to leave them behind. "I have bandages, alcohol, and adhesive bandages in my car. You all should tend to your wounds first," Zhang Qing said directly, then took out his Yunxian knife to begin extracting source crystals from the bodies of the 15 white phantom beasts. Upon hearing this, Pei Yushan and Zhao Tietue went to open the trunk of the car, retrieving a medical kit to start treating their wounds. The remaining girls were somewhat at a loss. Only the woman in white watched Zhang Qing with curious eyes as he collected the source crystals one by one. With 64 crystals needed, we're still short 44. At this rate, we're going quite fast. Zhang Qing tossed all 15 source crystals into the car, calculating internally. Having previously collected 5 crystals at the library, and now 15 here, he already had 21st-level source crystals, bringing him closer to spinning the wheel. The items on the wheel were all things he desperately needed, especially that premium evolution potion, which could rapidly elevate him to a first-level warrior, improving his physique and enhancing his strength and speed. As Zhang Qing pondered, Zhao Tietue and Fang Shiyun had finished tending to their wounds and approached him. After 2 battles, everyone was thoroughly convinced of Zhang Qing's strength. Even the proud Fang Shiyun was willing to follow Zhang Qing's lead. "Brother, what should we do next?" Fang Shiyun, with a bandage on his face, spoke first. "We should leave the campus, return to the weapon store, and then plan our next steps." Zhang Qing replied calmly. "What about these girls?" Zhao Tietue pointed at the 5 women in white, particularly captivated by the stunning beauty of the woman in white. "Shiyun, they're all my good friends. You can't just leave them behind." Wu Qianjiao, having overheard their conversation, ran over to grasp Fang Shiyun's hand. Fang Shiyun's face showed a conflicted expression. After all, he had already caused trouble for Zhang Qing and the others by rescuing Wu Qianjiao. "I can escort you all away from the school, but where you go next is your choice." Seeing Fang Shiyun's predicament, Zhang Qing spoke directly to the girls. However, as soon as Zhang Qing finished speaking, the entire city of Jinling sounded the air raid siren. Woo woo woo. The continuous blaring of the alarms echoed above the city, enveloping the entire Jinling, causing Zhang Qing's expression to darken considerably. How could it be so fast? Has the number of white phantom beasts completely exploded? Zhang Qing gazed at the eerie fog in the sky, seemingly within reach, only to suddenly realize that the fog was less than 10 meters from the ground. It's an air raid siren, and the most urgent kind at that. What on earth has happened? Zhao Tietue said, his expression reflecting a sense of fear as he listened to the piercing sirens. Zhao Taichu's words echoed the thoughts of everyone present. Panic was etched on their faces, while Zhang Qing's countenance remained as cold as water, his eyes flickering. 10 years ago in his past life, when the air raid siren sounded in Jinling City, it signified the true onset of the apocalypse. Following this, the authorities would issue a public announcement informing the world that a disaster had begun and everyone needed to take measures for self-rescue. It was from that moment on that the world descended into chaos and everyone was engulfed in despair and madness, unleashing the deep-seated evils of human nature. Look, the students seemed to be running back from outside the campus. Just as everyone was at a loss, a female student suddenly pointed towards the main road inside the campus. Zhang Qing and the others turned their gazes toward the school gate, and indeed saw many students frantically running towards the teaching building. "We'll go see what's happening," Zhao Tiechue volunteered. "No need to go, a large number of white phantom beasts are definitely heading this way," Zhang Qing said coldly, knowing that what was meant to come had arrived. Initially, when the apocalypse began, Jinling University had been besieged by numerous white phantom beasts due to the many tall buildings over 100 meters around it. Thus, the mutation of white phantom beasts in this area progressed much faster than in other places. "So what should we do now?" Pei Yushan asked, her expression tense. "First, let's head to the girls' dormitory, wait out the mutation period, and then think of a way to leave this place," Zhang Qing said with determination in his eyes. "Run quickly, the monsters are coming." As soon as Zhang Qing finished speaking, a student passed by them shouting loudly. "Hurry!" Zhang Qing opened the car door and drove towards the girls' dormitory without waiting for the others. "Damn it!" Zhao Tiechue cursed, then followed closely behind Zhang Qing's car, and the others quickly followed. At the same time, everyone was curious as to why they were heading to the girls' dormitory and what the mutation period was all. At this moment, the entrance of Jinling University was besieged by hundreds of white beasts. These white beasts surged into the campus like a tide, attacking any human they encountered. Before long, anguished screams and roars echoed from every corner of the school. At this time, Jinling University had transformed into a hell on earth. Many students who had not managed to escape became prey for the white beasts. In an instant, all the surviving students rushed towards the dormitory and classroom buildings in search of a place to hide. Soon Zhang Qing drove the SUV to the foot of a girls' dormitory. This dormitory had a total of 7 floors located at the end of the girls' dormitory area and was relatively close to the back gate of the school. Currently, the dormitory building was shrouded in eerie mist with only the first and second floors remaining unaffected. The upper 5 floors were completely covered. Zhang Qing grabbed his black backpack, packed all the source crystals into it, and slung it over his shoulders as he walked towards the entrance of the girls' dormitory. Approaching the dormitory door, Zhang Qing exhibited caution, gripping the sheath with his left hand and pressing down on the hilt with his right, carefully pulling open the door and stepping inside. Once inside, the first floor was empty with all the doors wide open. After confirming that there was no danger on the first floor, Zhang Qing let out a quiet sigh of relief. At that moment, Zhao Tiechue, Fang Shiyun, the girl in the white dress, and Pei Yushan hurriedly followed behind Pant. "Chue, is the little shopkeeper, come upstairs with me. The others wait on the first floor and lock the front door. Do not let anyone in," Zhang Qing said to Zhao Tiechue and Fang Shiyun while standing on the smooth staircase. "All right." Zhao Tiechue, wielding a fierce-looking machete, walked toward the stairs. Just as Fang Shiyun was about to follow, she was grabbed by the arm by Wu Qinjiao, whose head was drenched in sweat. "Shiyun, I'm scared." "It's all right with Pei Yushan and this beautiful lady here. They will protect you. They'll be back soon," Fang Shiyun reassured her, holding Wu Qianjiao's delicate hand. "By the way, I forgot to introduce you. This is Su Zhixian. You must have heard her name before." Wu Qinjiao suddenly recalled something and promptly introduced the girl in the white dress to the group. "Su Zhixian. Isn't she the genius swordswoman from the swordsmanship club who rarely comes to school for 3 years? Fang Xian's pupils slightly contracted as he looked at the girl in the white dress with newfound respect. New students might not know who Su Zhixian was, but as a senior who was promoted to the 4th year, Fang Shiyun had long heard of her reputation. It is said that when Su Zhixian first entered campus, she caused a huge sensation with her stunning appearance. With a tall and slender figure, unparalleled, exquisite features, clear and flawless eyes, and her flowing white attire, she looked like a celestial being descending to the mortal realm. The moment she appeared on campus, she was hailed by the students as a heavenly beauty. Subsequently, she was voted the most beautiful campus flower in the history of Jinling University by all the students. However, what drew the most attention was not her extraordinary beauty, but her unparalleled swordsmanship. On her first day at Jinling University, she challenged the swordsmanship club and defeated the club's top expert Lu Tianjun in just 3 strokes. If anyone thought that Lu Tianjun was just a name without substance, they would be gravely mistaken. Lu Tianjun's strength was among the best in Jinling University. He had once won the swordsmanship championship in the youth category of the Dragon Kingdom. Even Fang Shiyun was slightly inferior to him. Thus, when Su Zhixian defeated Lu Tianjun with 3 strokes, the shock it caused was akin to a 10-level tsunami, leaving all the faculty and students of Jinling University astounded. However, for unknown reasons, Su Zhixian only stayed on campus for 1 day, before completely disappearing from everyone's sight. In the past 3 years, she has only occasionally appeared on campus, but each time she did it would create a tremendous stir. Although Fang Shiyun had never seen Su Zhixian, he had heard her name echo in his ears. He never expected that the girl in the white dress was the renowned Su Zhixian. However, upon a closer look, Fang Shiyun realized that the girl in the white dress matched the rumors perfectly in both temperament and appearance. She was dressed in white like a celestial being with an ethereal and unparalleled grace akin to a startled swan and a drifting dragon. Her exquisite features were beyond reproach. With delicate eyebrows, a beautiful nose, and ruby-red lips, her gaze was piercing, and her black hair cascaded like a waterfall. The long skirt accentuated her tall and slender figure perfectly. With a waist as slender as a willow and elegant curves, the hem of her skirt trailed on her white boots, resembling a celestial maiden descending to the mortal world. Su Zhixian, the sword fairy. Standing on the staircase, Zhang Qing's eyes flickered, feeling that this name was somewhat familiar, but he couldn't recall where he had heard it. He'll protect them, you all go upstairs. Su Zhixian, having her identity exposed by Wu Qianjiao, showed little change in her expression, remaining as cool and aloof as an ethereal being. Thank you very much. Knowing Su Zhixian's identity, Fang Shiyun felt reassured and cupped his fists. Hurry up. Aren't I here? Be extra careful. There are likely white beasts on the upper floors. Pei Yushan, holding a silver dragon spear, said boldly, seemingly wanting to compete with Su Zhixian. In terms of figure and looks, Pei Yushan did not seem inferior to Su Zhixian. Both were top-tier campus flowers and extraordinary beauties. One was ethereal and cool, while the other was flamboyant and stunning, each having their own charm. Pei Yushan had won the title of the most beautiful freshman at the new student registration yesterday. Therefore, upon seeing Su Zhixian, she unconsciously began to compare herself to her. Though she was not the type to enjoy competition, for some reason, when she saw Su Zhixian for the first time, she felt an overwhelming sense of crisis. It seemed that Su Zhixian would one day compete with her for the most cherished things. Let's go. Time is of the essence. I don't want to waste any more. After saying this, Zhang Qing headed toward the second floor, followed closely by Zhao Tietue and Fang Shiyun. The three arrived on the second floor, finding it eerily quiet with all the rooms tightly closed and no signs of fighting in the hallway. Let's go straight to the third floor. The second floor should be fine. Zhang Qing glanced around the hallway and continued towards the third floor. Upon reaching the third floor, a faint, eerie mist enveloped the area and a pungent odor wafted towards them. This smell was all too familiar to Zhang Qing. It was the culprit that transformed humans and animals into the white beasts. The smell was peculiar, a mixture of sulfur dioxide and hydrochloric acid, but upon closer inspection, there seemed to be a faint medicinal fragrance hidden within. Put on masks, so we cannot afford to mutate yet. Zhang Qing pulled out pre-prepared masks from his pocket and handed them to the two. Though the protection was limited, it could delay the mutation process for the three. As long as they confirmed that there was no danger in this girl's dormitory, they could safely endure the mutation period. Zhao Tietue and Fang Shiyun were puzzled about how Zhang Qing knew so much, but they understood that this was not the time for questions, so they followed his instructions. Next, the three began to quickly search each room, and after finishing the search of the third floor, they ascended the stairs to the fourth floor. The eerie mist on the fourth floor grew thicker, visibility reduced to just 3 meters, and the three of them felt slightly tense as they searched each room one by one. After finding nothing unusual on the fourth floor, the three proceeded to the fifth and sixth floors, finally arriving at the last level, the seventh floor. As soon as they stepped onto the stairs of the seventh floor, Zhang Qing noticed a viscous liquid beneath his feet. Upon closer inspection, it was bright red blood. Immediately after, a girl's scream and a beast-like roar echoed through the hallway on the seventh floor. The top floor, it seems someone has already mutated into a white beast. Zhang Qing said to the tense Zhao Tietue and Fang Shiyun. So what do we do now? Should we force our way up? Zhao Tietue asked, his lips slightly pale. Despite having experienced 2 battles with the white beasts earlier, he still felt nervous. For everyone's safety, we can only eradicate all the white beasts on the 7th floor, otherwise we will always be in danger. Zhang Qing explained to the two. Then let's do it. Fang Shiyun's eyes flashed with killing intent, his whole body filled with excitement. All right then, let's kill. Zhang Qing's gaze sharpened as he drew his yunk sword, leading the way. Zhang Qing dashed into the stairwell, first barely discerning a towering figure crouched on the floor, devouring something amid the thick, eerie mist. The creature sensed intruders breaching its territory and immediately unleashed a piercing guttural shriek toward Zhang Qing and his 2 companions. Kill! Zhang Qing gripped his yunk blade tightly and charged forward, slashing horizontally at the towering figure's head with blinding speed. Shoo! Within the swirling mist, the humanoid monster raised a forelimb to block the blade. The sickening scrape of steel biting into bone and sinew rang out, and a spined bony arm clattered to the ground. At that moment, the creature's full form came into sharp focus, a Bai Gui beast nearly 2. Free me, Skrara. The Bai Gui beast howled in agony, lashing out with razor-sharp tentacles aimed straight at Zhang Qing's torso. Seeing this, Fang Shiyun and Zhao Tietue struck simultaneously, one from the left, one from the right, blades drawn. Shoo! Shoo! Both tentacles were severed in clean, decisive cuts. Die! Zhang Qing moved with lethal precision, his young blade thrust deep into the beast's heart. A wet, hollow thunk echoed as the creature collapsed slain. After dispatching the Bai Gui beast, Zhang Qing extracted the blood source crystal from its chest cavity, then stepped over the massive corpse and advanced down the corridor. Fang Shiyun and Zhao Tietue followed closely behind, their eyes fixed on the smeared, unrecognizable remains, barely suppressing the urge to vomit. If you need to vomit, do so now. You'll grow accustomed to it soon enough. Zhang Qing glanced back at their ashen faces, his voice calm and detached. Is our world truly ending? Fang Shiyun spoke with raw disbelief, as if questioning whether he still slept. It is not ending, but it will become a wasteland. Rebuilding is only possible if we eradicate every mutated Gui beast. Zhang Qing's tone was glacial. He had witnessed the apocalypse firsthand. He knew humanity could never fully exterminate the Gui beasts, and worse, ever more would pour onto this ruined planet through the stellar corridors. Brother, what you're saying is terrifying. It feels unreal. Zhao Tietue shuddered, his entire body chilled to the bone. In a few days, you'll see for yourselves the true state of our world. Words are useless now. Stay close behind me. We must clear this final floor. Zhang Qing knew they still refused to believe the world stood on the precipice of collapse. Only time would force conviction. Surely there are no Bai Gui beasts left on this floor. Zhao Tietue tightened his grip on his Miao Dao, whispering softly. Uncertain. Stay vigilant. The mist is too dense. A Bai Gui beast could ambush us at any moment. Zhang Qing cautioned. They both murmured in quiet assent, then fell into position. One flanking him left, the other right. As the trio advanced slowly, methodically, with Zhang Qing as the spearhead and the others as wings. Boom! A deafening crash shattered the silence. A Bai Gui beast burst violently through a door, hurtling straight toward them. Oomph! Zhang Qing assessed the beast, only 2 meters tall, and swung his young blade in a single fluid motion, severing both of its barbed tentacles mid-lunge. Zhao Tietue and Fang Shiyun struck in perfect synchrony, dual blades flashing left and right, shearing off the beast's forelimbs. Then Zhang Qing swept horizontally once more. The beast's head rolled free. After extracting the blood source crystal, the trio pressed onward, and soon discovered 2 more Bai Gui beasts inside a dormitory suite. A fierce 3 vs 2 battle erupted. Zhang Qing engaged a near 2-meter Bai Gui beast alone, while Zhao Tietue and Fang Shiyun jointly overwhelmed the second 1-meter specimen. Within 10 seconds, both beasts lay dead. Their coordination sharpened with each victory, and by the time they finished sweeping the entire floor, 7 Bai Gui beasts had fallen. In the final room, Zhang Qing caught his breath and said quietly, 7 Bai Gui beasts, fully eradicated. That should be all. By then, Zhao Tietue and Fang Shiyun had collapsed onto the floor, utterly spent, both mentally frayed and physically drained from relentless tension and combat. Were they forced to face a height-tier Bai Gui beast alone, now they would surely fall. Zhang Qing had already taught them how to distinguish tiers among the beasts. Those around 2 meters tall were low tier, those exceeding 1 meters mid-tier, those surpassing 2 meters high tier, and those over 3 meters, transcendent tier. Rest here a while. I'll gather the others and bring them up to the 6th floor. You follow shortly. Zhang Qing sheathed his blade and addressed the 2 slumped figures. Understood. Zhao Tietue lifted an arm weakly, his voice faint. Zhang Qing shook his head, turned without another word, and strode out of the suite, heading downstairs. Ground floor corridor. When Zhang Qing arrived, he found 7 newcomers, 4 men and 3 women, now occupying the hallway. His brow furrowed sharply. He distinctly recalled ordering everyone barred from entry before he left. Pei Yushan, Su Zhixian, Wu Qianjiao, and the others instantly turned their gazes toward him as he descended the stairs. Where's Shiyun? Why isn't he coming down? Wu Qianjiao asked urgently upon seeing only Zhang Qing. He's unharmed. He'll join you upstairs shortly. Zhang Qing replied coldly. How did they get in? His gaze shifted to the 7 huddled against the wall, trembling and pale with terror. Pei Yushan hesitated, on the verge of speaking, when Wu Qianjiao interjected. We let them in. They look desperate. Out there, monsters roam freely. We couldn't just abandon them to die. Hearing her justification, Zhang Qing nearly struck her across the face. Were it not for Fang Shiyun's presence, he would have cast Wu Qianjiao out without hesitation. Every additional person increased the risk of mutation into a Bai Gui beast exponentially. More critically, resources were finite. Food would dwindle rapidly. He'd chosen this dormitory precisely because the female wing stored significantly more provisions than the male wing. Now, with 7 extra mouths to feed, rations meant for one would stretch thin across 2, deepening Zhang Qing's contempt for Wu Qianjiao. All of you, go to the 6th floor immediately and comply with instructions. Disobey and consequences will follow. Zhang Qing addressed the group flatly. Who even are you? Why should we obey you? A tall, broad-shouldered youth stepped forward, likely a junior or senior student. Refuse your order? Then kick us out of this dormitory. Zhang Qing's expression hardened to ice. We won't leave, not unless you force us. The youth rose defiantly. The other 6 followed suit, clearly resentful of Zhang Qing's authority. I warn you once more, obey, or vacate this building. His gaze turned glacial, his right hand settled firmly upon the black thread-wrapped hilt of his blade. You would do well to heed Zhang Qing's command. Otherwise we shall have no choice but to enforce compliance. Pei Yushan leveled her silver dragon spear, its tip pressing lightly against the youth's chest. Su Zhixian remained silent, but her frost-cold gaze swept over the 7, and her long sword lifted slightly, its edge gleaming with quiet menace. What do you intend? Are you truly threatening violence? The tall youth, emboldened by numbers, feigned composure. We're all classmates. No need for hostility. Let's go to the 6th floor. With monsters everywhere, internal conflict would be our undoing. Wu Qianjiao stepped between both sides, mediating. Li Chong, let's follow their lead. They're the ones who opened the door for us. A lanky, bespectacled youth whispered to Li Chong. I'm only tolerating this out of respect for our shared student bond. Let's go. Li Chong blustered, retreating up the stairs with the others. This incident ends here, but cross us again and I swear I'll show you no mercy. As the 7 ascended, Zhang Qing's eyes swept deliberately across the women's faces. Pei Yushan and Su Zhixian remained impassive, but Wu Qianjiao and the other 3 betrayed flickers of panic. Those 7 had been admitted by vote Wu Qianjiao, and the 3 others voted in favor. Pei Yushan and Su Zhixian opposed. They had all witnessed Zhang Qing's methods firsthand. In this age of rampaging Gui beasts, if he chose to act, none could stop him. When the crowd arrived on the 6th floor, Fang Shiyun and Zhao Tiechue were already waiting in the corridor, blocking the 4 men and 3 women. Fang Shiyun turned his gaze towards Zhang Qing and the others who were approaching and asked, what is going on with them? Wu Qianjiao, seeing that Fang Shiyun was fine, immediately stepped forward to hug his arm and gently shook it. Realizing what was happening, Fang Shiyun shot an apologetic glance at Zhang Qing. From now on, no one is allowed to act on their own without Zhang Qing's orders. Fang Shiyun shook off Wu Qianjiao's hand and said loudly, establishing Zhang Qing's leadership among the group. Wu Qianjiao was somewhat incredulous that Fang Shiyun would push her away, her face full of grievance, while her heart began to harbor resentment towards Zhang Qing. Seeing that even the president of the martial arts club, Fang Shiyun, was following Zhang Qing's lead, the 7 members, led by Li Chong, also suppressed their own thoughts. The white monsters in this building have been completely eliminated by the 3 of us. Now there are a total of 16 people here. From south to north, each person should choose a room, lock the door after entering, and wait for 2 hours before we all gather in the corridor. Zhang Qing stepped to the center of the group and said, classmates, I want to ask, why do we have to stay in the rooms for 2 hours before we can come out? A tall, thin youth wearing glasses asked, his demeanor gentle with a hint of confusion in his eyes. You have all seen the white monsters outside. I can tell you that they have all mutated into white monsters due to inhaling this eerie mist. However, as long as you maintain strong willpower and stay true to yourselves, not letting the beastly instincts within you consume your humanity, you will not mutate. I instructed you to lock the doors to prevent anyone from mutating into a white monster. Zhang Qing's voice was firm and powerful. I want to ask, what if one of us mutates into a white monster? A cute girl among the 7 asked, her appearance sweet and innocent. If someone mutates into a white monster, there is only one outcome. Zhang Qing's gaze swept coldly over the faces of the crowd as his voice turned icy death. Upon hearing this, the crowd turned pale, and several timid girls were almost brought to tears. Time is of the essence. Hurry and enter the rooms. If you don't go in, please leave this dormitory. Zhang Qing urged, glancing at Fang Shiyun and Zhao Tiechue. The 2 understood and let Wu Qianjiao and the 4 girls enter the rooms in order. You 2 go to rooms 605 and 606. As long as you survive the mutation period, come out immediately. If you discover anyone has mutated into a white monster, kill them without mercy. Zhang Qing instructed Pei Yushan and Su Zhixian. All right, Pei Yushan and Su Zhixian nodded simultaneously, not wasting time as they headed towards the 2 rooms. The 2 girls were very compliant with Zhang Qing's arrangement. Let's go. Each of us should find a room to rest in. I refuse to believe that we as top students will turn into monsters. Li Chong said to his small group, looking at Pei Yushan and the others who had already entered their rooms. Let's check the doors to see if they are locked and get ready to endure the mutation period. Zhang Qing said to Zhao Tiechue and Fang Shiyun. Zhao Tiechue and Fang Shiyun knew that to survive the mutation period, they could only rely on themselves and no one could help them, so they began testing each room, starting from room 601. In the end, the 3 of them entered rooms 614, 615, and 616 respectively. Time slowly passed, and each person in their respective rooms was tormented. Only Zhang Qing sat calmly on the somewhat cold floor, placing the young blade on his lap, quietly sensing the changes within his body. The eerie mist in the room grew thicker, nearing the point where one could not see their hand in front of their face. At this moment, the entire Jinling city had been completely covered by the eerie mist, from the hundreds of meters high buildings to the underground waterways, all filled with a pungent gray-white eerie mist. A massive mutation involving over 5 million people was unfolding in Jinling City. Roar! A deafening sound reverberated throughout Jinling City, even drowning out the sound of the air raid sirens. How is this possible? A Tier 3 monster has already appeared. Zhang Qing suddenly opened his eyes wide, disbelief flashing across his gaze. That powerful roar was familiar to him. It belonged to the tiger monster. Now the eerie transformation of Jinling City had only just begun. How could a Tier 3 monster appear, and one that was a violent and bloodthirsty king of monsters, the tiger monster? Could it have come from another city? Zhang Qing felt his heart pounding. If he encountered a Tier 3 tiger monster, he would undoubtedly perish. Even in his past life, with his strength equivalent to a Tier 5 warrior, he would not dare to face a Tier 3 tiger monster hidden alone. As the ruler among ordinary monsters, the tiger monster was extremely powerful. A Tier 3 tiger monster could compete with a Tier 5 warrior. Monsters inherently possess greater strength, speed, and physical qualities compared to humans, and this becomes even more pronounced after mutation. Even a common wild dog once mutated would be significantly stronger than an equally ranked human, often possessing strength at least one level higher. This is why Zhang Qing was so wary of animals mutating into fierce monsters. The stronger the animal before mutation, the more terrifying its strength becomes after. Animals like tigers, lions, elephants, grizzly bears, and leopards are powerful existences that become incredibly terrifying after mutation. And now it seemed that a Tier 5 tiger monster had appeared in Jinling City. In the early days of the apocalypse, a Tier 5 tiger monster was an invincible existence. Even if the military deployed heavy weapons, it would be difficult to eliminate it. Ordinary weapons would struggle to inflict any damage at all. It has begun. In the room, Zhang Qing felt a sharp pain in his heart, as if his myocardium were suffering from insufficient blood supply. But he knew that this was a sign of his body mutating. As long as he could endure it, he would pass through the mutation period. A painful scream from Zhao Tietue came from next door, and Zhang Qing realized that Zhao Tietue had likely entered a deeper level of mutation. Once they passed through the mutation period, each person's physical fitness would be enhanced to some degree, and some might even rival Tier 3 warriors directly. Later, Zhang Qing also heard that the more eerie mist one absorbed, the greater the improvement in physical fitness, but at the same time the chance of mutating into a white monster would also increase significantly. This is the relationship between risk and reward. Then let's gamble. Zhang Qing took a deep breath and began to swallow the eerie mist in large gulps. In his past life, after Zhao Tietue passed through the mutation period, he directly possessed the strength of a Tier 2 warrior, while at that time Zhang Qing had barely met the standards for a Tier 1 warrior, only slightly stronger than before. However, having lived again, Zhang Qing was confident he could pass through the mutation period, so he dared to try boldly. As long as he could get through the mutation period, even without using the evolution potion, he should be able to rival a Tier 2 warrior. This was Zhang Qing's intuition. A hiccup escaped him. The more Zhang Qing inhaled the eerie mist, the stranger the sensation became, an odd satiated fullness swelling through his body. A pained cry from Feng Shiyun drifted from dorm 616. Zhang Qing understood then that everyone was entering the mutation phase. Those who stepped out of their rooms an hour later had passed the ordeal. Those who never emerged had become white guisho. A harsh pain stabbed at Zhang Qing's chest. He could not help but groan, a fine sweat beading across his brow. Baoyuan Shi, calm and center yourself. Zhang Qing forced the pain aside and fought to steady his breath. Only by keeping his mind lucid could he prevent the hidden inner demon from taking his place. Time dripped away. Sweat soaked his body. His face, pale and contorted, betrayed the enormity of the torment he endured. In the corridor, people began to trickle out of their rooms. 10 minutes later, only 4 doors remained still. Among those silent rooms were Zhang Qing and Su Zexion's. The other 2 belonged to the sweet-faced girl from the group of 7 and a third-year girl who shared a room with Wu Qianjiao. Pei Yushin's face tightened with worry. What's going on? Why haven't Zhang Qing and Su Zexin come out yet? Feng Shiyun offered a measured reply. Don't rush. It seems the more of the mist you absorb, the slower the mutation progresses. Didn't you notice most of us were the last to leave? After surviving the mutation, he found his body altered, its constitution markedly enhanced. He had not tested it, yet he sensed a great leap in strength and speed. Even his sight and hearing seemed. Zhao Tietue leaned close and whispered to Feng Shiyun and Pei Yushan. Have you noticed that after the mutation our bodies all seem changed? Pei Yushan's eyes shone with astonishment. Indeed, that eerie mist is uncanny but appears to alter our physical constitution, making us stronger. She felt as light as a swallow, her strength nearly doubled, her hearing and sight had become keener, as if the world had sharpened around her. Lichang lingered before the sweet-faced girl's room for a long while. When the girl called Xiaoya did not appear, he resolved to kick the door down and see for himself. A cold voice cut through the corridor. "I advise you against that." Zhao Tietue brightened when Zhang Qing finally stepped out. "Brother, you're out." Pei Yushan and Fang Shiyun visibly relaxed at the sight of him safe and whole. Zhang Qing had become their anchor. If he had mutated into a white Guisho, they could hardly have known which way to. Li Chang bellowed back furious. "What business is it of yours? Xiaoya is my girlfriend." With that he swung his foot at the door. The door burst inward with a dull crash, but Li Chang froze as if rooted to the spot. Terror filled his eye. Two jagged tentacles like thrown javelins slammed into his chest and left two ragged holes where light. "Xiaoya," he gasped, his eyes full of longing. His body pitched back, eyes wide, and unseeing blood pouring from his mouth. He died unyielding. Zhang Qing did not look at Li Chang's corpse. His gaze swept the group as he asked, "Who else hasn't come out?" Fang Xian's face darkened. Su Zhixian and Wang Yunqin are still inside. He feared the worst until in the next breath, both their doors opened simultaneously. One door was eased open by a handy, the other had been smashed outward by force. Seeing Su Zhixian step out with damp hair, Zhang Qing realized why she had emerged even later than he had. She had been taking a shower. Wang Yunqin, by contrast, had become a height-year white Guisho, towering nearly 2 meters. With a rasping roar, the white Guisho Wang Yunqin charged. At the same time, Xiaoya burst from her room, lashing the air with sharp, writhing tentacles. Pei Yushan seized her silver dragon spear and lunged forward. "He'll handle that towering one," she cried. "He'll take the smaller one," Zhao Tietue answered, gripping the black-hilted Miao Dao. They surged ahead, and the others fell back in alarm. Only Zhang Qing, Su Zhixian, and Fang Shiyun remained at the forefront. Pei Yushan stabbed again and again as she faced the massive Guisho, but its razor-like foreclaws parried every blow. Then, pivoting with a sweeping reversal, her spear moved like a dragon's tail and plunged deep into the creature. Blood spurted. The light in the creature's eyes faded, its 4-meter tentacles drooped lifelessly, and the towering body crumpled to the ground. Elsewhere, Zhao Tietue fought like a berserker. His Miao Dao carved wide, merciless arcs, and in moments he had reduced Xiao Ya's mutated form to a splintered ruin. 2 tentacles, and the foreclaws lay severed on the floor. The mutated Xiaoya released a heart-rending scream. A bespectacled, refined young man stepped forward. "Give her a quick in, brother," he urged Zhao Tietue. The exhortation snapped Zhao out of the haze as shame flickered across his face. At last, a final stroke severed Xiao Ya's head. Zhao Tietue looked awkward. "Sorry, I forgot she was a classmate," he murmured. "It's all right," the refined youth replied. "We were classmates. None of us wanted to watch her suffer that way." His gaze carried sorrow. Xiaoya and Li Chang had been his companions for 3 years. He had not imagined they would so swiftly become corpses. The blow left the survivors stunned and numb, their faces blank, eyes drifting with an endless, aching bewilderment. "Pull yourselves together," the refined youth urged, rallying them. "This has happened, but we cannot give in to despair. If we stand united, we can survive." Zhang Qing was struck by the man's presence and, moved by his words, asked, "What's your name, brother?" "Lu Haoran," the young man answered, drawing a steady breath. He radiated an uncommon calm. A light came into Zhang Qing's eyes. He had not expected that this refined youth would one day be known as the founder of the famed Haoran survivor base. In the future of the apocalypse, many survivor bases would rise across the lands of the Dragon Nation. Lu Haoran's Haoran survivor base would become one of the great fortified centers, second only to the top 10 armed strongholds. Lu Haoran's personal cultivation had not been extraordinary at the time. He was not a heaven-level expert. Yet this very man would organize a refuge for tens of thousands with exemplary order. His leadership was far beyond the ordinary. Zhang Qing had visited Lu Haoran's base before, but then his status was so different that he had no chance to meet Lu Haoran in person. He had, however, seen a manga poster of Lu Haoran that bore a strong resemblance to the man now before him, which was why Zhang had suddenly asked. Zhang Qing did not admire many people in his life, but Lu Haoran was undeniably one of them. Lu Haoran's survivor base achieved a true form of equality: no oppression, no plunder. Survivors relied upon one another, standing together against Guisho and hostile forces. The old, the weak, the ill, none were abandoned. They remained within the base with what dignity they could, enduring hardship, but kept safe. Such a thing was almost unimaginable in that world of ruin. Only Lu Haoran had made it real. "Qingge, what should we do next?" Zhao Tietue looked at Zhang Qing, who was lost in thought, and waved his large hand in front of him. Zhang Qing came to his senses, and seeing the eager gazes of everyone, pondered slightly before saying, "The eerie mist has now enveloped the entire Jinling city, with visibility less than 1 meter. If we rashly go out, we will undoubtedly perish. What should we do then?" We can't just sit here and wait for death. Feng Shiyun said with a serious expression. This eerie mist will take 2 days to completely dissipate. Let's think of a way to leave the school then. For now, we need to act separately. Let's search each dormitory on every floor, gather all food and water, and distribute them daily. Zhang Qing scanned each person as he spoke. No wonder you wanted to come to the girls' dormitory. You had already predicted that we might be trapped here. Pei Yushan looked at Zhang Qing with admiration. Upon hearing this, everyone finally understood why Zhang Qing had chosen to hide in the girls' dormitory, because the food there was generally much more abundant than in the boys' dormitory. That's just part of it. The number of white eerie beasts in the boys' dormitory is greater and stronger than in the girls' dormitory. Zhang Qing said solemnly, drawing from his past lives' experience. In his previous life at the onset of the apocalypse, the number of white eerie beasts in the boys' dormitory was nearly 3 times that of the girls' dormitory. This was because many boys did not care about the eerie mist, so when disaster struck, many of them remained unaware and stayed in their dormitories. This led to a higher population in the boys' dormitory, resulting in a greater number of white eerie beasts. Ultimately, the mutated white eerie beasts slaughtered almost all the remaining humans in the boys' dormitory, with only a few managing to escape. If we hide here, will those monsters break in? Wu Qinjiao could not help but voice her concerns, which mirrored the worries of everyone else. Although Zhang Qing did not have a favorable impression of Wu Qinjiao, he replied in a grave tone, even if we hide here, the white eerie beasts will come looking for us. Therefore, after we finish gathering food, we must block the stairway immediately. Time is of the essence. Oh, let's act quickly. Pei Yushan urged eagerly. Classmates, I think we should split up. The girls will search for food, while the boys will move the tables and cabinets out of the dormitory to block the stairway. Once the girls finish gathering food, we will block the stairway immediately. Lu Haoran stood up and proposed to the others. Okay, let's do as Lu Haoran suggests. Pei Yushan, you take them to start searching for food from the first floor dormitory and bring everything to the last room on the 6th floor. Zhang Qing agreed wholeheartedly with Lu Haoran's suggestion, as it was exactly what he was thinking. Alright, all the Pei Yushan, holding a silver dragon spear, addressed the girls, while Su Zhixian hesitated slightly, but followed behind them. Lu Haoran, you are responsible for the boys' side, blocking the stairway from the 1st floor all the way to the 6th. Zhang Qing instructed Lu Haoran. Understood, I will not fail my mission. Lu Haoran nodded firmly. Subsequently, everyone began to act in an orderly manner, with the men blocking the stairway and the women searching for food. Everyone set to work, while Zhang Qing stood still, yet no one voiced any objections. At that moment, Zhang Qing was the leader in everyone's eyes. As long as he was present, they felt a sense of stability. Of course, the reason Zhang Qing remained inactive was that he had more important tasks to attend to. After the others left, he extracted the source crystals from the hearts of 2 white eerie beasts, and then headed to the last room on the 6th floor, room 620. Upon entering, Zhang Qing was greeted by a strong scent of perfume that even overpowered the smell of the eerie mist. The girls' dormitory at Jinling University consisted entirely of 3 bedroom, 1 living room suites, with 4 people in each room, accommodating a total of 12 people per suite. The living room was about 20 square meters, furnished with sofas, tables, chairs, and basic appliances like a refrigerator and microwave. Such a setup was considered quite excellent among universities in Dragon Country. Zhang Qing searched through each dormitory room, collecting a pile of colorful bedsheets, and then securely tied all the bedsheets together. Finally, he placed the makeshift bedsheet rope in the northernmost room on the far right. This room faced the back door of Jinling University, making it the most convenient dormitory for escape. Upon entering the room, Zhang Qing tied one end of the bedsheet rope to the legs of 2 beds in the middle, while the other end was placed on the balcony window. One rope isn't enough, though I need another one. Zhang Qing murmured to himself as he worked on crafting the escape bedsheet rope. If a large number of white eerie beasts were to breach the dormitory, this simple bedsheet escape rope could save everyone's lives. Additionally, Zhang Qing could use this rope to leave the dormitory and scout the situation outside. In his memory, after Jinling City was completely submerged in the eerie mist, the number of white eerie beasts surged to millions within just 2 days. Even when the military deployed armed forces to suppress them, it had no effect. Ultimately, the entire Jinling City became a paradise for white eerie beasts. At that time, he and Zhao Tiechue fled north, constantly evading the slaughter of the white eerie beasts, hoping to return to Zhao Taichu's hometown Langya City. Unfortunately, due to global anomalies, the mountains and land had expanded several times, turning a journey of only 500 or 600 kilometers into over 3,000 kilometers. Moreover, the journey was fraught with danger. They had to be cautious not only of white eerie beasts and fierce eerie beasts, but also of humans. After enduring 3 years of hardships, they finally returned to Langya City. However, by that time, Langya City had already become a wasteland overrun by white eerie beasts, while the remaining humans hid in dark underground shelters. Zhao Taichu's family was also missing. Later, the two of them stayed in Langya City and joined a small team of survivors hunting eerie beasts while searching for Zhao Taichua's family. Little did they expect that during one hunting mission their squad would fall into an ambush set by a 100-strong armed group, resulting in everyone but Zhang Qing being killed. This became a lingering regret for Zhang Qing in his past life. After much investigation, Zhang Qing finally learned that the armed group was from the largest survivor base at that time, Wolfang Base. However, the strength of Wolfang Base was overwhelming, although there were no heavenly level experts stationed there were dozens of earth level and mysterious level masters. At that time, Zhang Qing was merely a level 5 warrior and could not compete with them at all. Helpless, he had no choice but to leave Langya City, secretly improve his strength, and hope that one day he could return to avenge Zhao Tiechue. But once he left, he never returned. Gazing out at the dense, eerie fog outside the window, Zhang Qing withdrew his thoughts and silently vowed to avenge the grievances of his past life in this one. Soon the sky began to darken. Under the cover of night, the scene outside the dormitory building became increasingly obscured, shrouded in a great, eerie mist. Gradually, everyone began to return one after another. During this time, Zhang Qing personally inspected the quality of the bedsheet rope. Following the rope down, he brought the vehicle to the corner where the rope landed. This was his final preparation. Should the situation become untenable, he would directly escape with Zhao Tiechue. As for Fang Shiyuan, Pei Yushan, Su Zhixian, and others, they could only rely on fate. He was not a saint. The first priority was to protect himself and Zhao Tiechue, while the others could only do their best. Brother Qing, we are all back. Just as Zhang Qing was sitting on the bed counting the number of source crystals, Zhao Taichua's loud voice came into the dormitory. 29 pieces. A glint flashed in Zhang Qing's eyes as he placed the source crystals into his backpack and then left the dormitory. At that moment, the living room floor was already piled high with various snacks, drinks, and fruits, a dazzling array that left one feeling overwhelmed. Zhang Qing, all the food is here. Pei Yushan said to Zhang Qing. We have blocked off all the stairways from the 1st to the 6th floor. Yes, everyone, please take a seat. You've all worked hard. Zhang Qing sat cross-legged on the floor and picked up a piece of oatmeal bread to eat with relish. Seeing this, everyone sat down, but no one reached for the food before them. Go ahead and eat. This food is enough for us to last 2 days, but don't waste it. Zhang Qing said calmly. I've been hungry for a long time now. I can finally eat. Zhao Tiechue was the first to dig in, violently tearing open a bag of Orleans-flavored chicken legs and devouring them. Seeing Zhao Tiechue start to eat, everyone followed suit, selecting delicious snacks to enjoy. Suddenly, as everyone joyfully indulged in their food, a sharp howl echoed from below the dormitory. Roar. Following that, an even more frenzied roar came, followed by a series of loud crashing sounds. Hearing the deafening crashing sounds, everyone felt the entire dormitory building shake, and they all became tense. Did those white eerie beasts find us? Lu Haoran lightly adjusted his black glasses with his index finger, his eyes filled with concern. Don't worry, just eat and drink. They won't be able to rush in for a while. Zhang Qing's expression was indifferent, clearly accustomed to such situations. Woo-woo. Just as he finished speaking, a slender girl suddenly began to cry softly. Lin Lin, why are you crying? Lu Haoran walked over to the girl and asked. Brother Haoran, I'm scared. The girl named Lin Lin raised her tear-stained, delicate face. It's okay, Brother Haoran is still here. I will protect you. Lu Haoran comforted the girl softly. Upon hearing her cry, the other girls also appeared, saddened, their eyes gradually turning red. If you want to cry, just let it all out, but only this once, and after this you won't even get a chance to cry again. Zhang Qing said coldly, continuing to eat his oatmeal bread. You are so heartless. We are all classmates. Shouldn't we look out for each other? Wu Qianjiao, who was sitting next to Fang Shiyuan, suddenly erupted, standing up to reprimand Zhang Qing. Qianjiao, sit down. Fang Shiyuan did not expect Wu Qianjiao to confront Zhang Qing, and his expression became quite unpleasant. That's right, I am indeed heartless, but not entirely, otherwise I wouldn't have given you the chance to scream like this. Zhang Qing looked up coldly at Wu Qianjiao's flushed face, showing no regard for her. I'm sorry, Zhang Qing, I apologize on behalf of Qianjiao. Fang Shiyuan stood up and said apologetically to Zhang Qing. I dislike all of you. Sorry, everyone. Fang Shiyuan bowed to the others, then took a pack of chocolate biscuits and walked into that dormitory. Brother Qing, why do you have to argue with a girl? It's making everyone uncomfortable. Zhao Tiechue truly admired Zhang Qing now and regarded him as a true brother, which is why he sensed. Perhaps you all don't know what lies ahead, but I can tell you now. The next thing you will face is the apocalypse. Zhang Qing spoke in a somber tone. The apocalypse. A flicker of confusion crossed Lu Haoran's eyes. Although he had anticipated the worst outcome, hearing Zhang Qing's words still shook him to his core. He had seen countless depictions of apocalyptic scenarios in various foreign blockbusters. This time, the human mutation into white eerie beasts was strikingly similar to the film he had watched, Battle of Tomorrow. However, this time the monsters were mutated humans, while the white spiked monsters in the movie came from outer space. I can clearly tell everyone that this disaster is global. 2 days later, when the eerie fog dissipates, the entire world will descend into chaos. Therefore, if you want to follow me, I will do my utmost to protect you, but the premise is that you must unconditionally obey my arrangements. Zhang Qing's voice was cold. Previously he only thought about leaving with Zhao Tietue, but now that was evidently not possible, so he had to lay down some ground rules with everyone. Brother Qing, I believe in you. I'll do whatever you say. Zhao Tietue was the first to express his support. Zhang Qing is right. To survive in the apocalypse we need a leader, and I think Zhang Qing is the most suitable choice. Pei Yushan also expressed her support for Zhang Qing. We are also willing to listen to Brother Zhang. Lu Haoran helped the remaining 5 express their agreement. We have no objections either. 2 senior girls who were good friends with Wu Qianjiao also spoke up. Finally, Zhang Qing's gaze fell upon the cool and aloof Su Zhixian, the only person there he couldn't read. I will listen to you. Su Zhixian's black eyes sparkled as she smiled at Zhang Qing. This smile was like a blooming flower filling the room with fragrance. Everyone gazed at Su Zhixian's radiant smile, momentarily entranced. Even Pei Yushan, a fellow woman, felt that Su Zhixian's smile was captivating beyond compare. Zhang Qing was also momentarily dazed by Su Zhixian's smile, but quickly regained his composure. Alright, since everyone is willing to listen to me, let's eat well for now. As of now, the white eerie beasts are still at level 1, lacking strong senses of smell and hearing, so they won't be able to detect us. After we finish eating, everyone should rest well. Tomorrow we will reassess the situation and decide on our next steps. Zhang Qing addressed everyone. Upon hearing this, everyone nodded and continued eating, no longer paying attention to the crashing and roaring sounds coming from below. After a long while, it seemed that there were truly no humans in the dormitory building, and the sounds of crashing and howling downstairs gradually faded away. However, under the cover of night, sharp howls occasionally echoed throughout the campus, even mixed with the screams of hearing those utterly desperate screams. Everyone was too afraid to sleep, illuminated only by the faint light. They worried that upon waking they might become prey to those white eerie beasts. Only Zhao Tietue, exhausted, lay on the sofa clutching his fierce meow knife, falling into a deep sleep. Everyone go rest in your assigned rooms. I will keep watch here. Zhang Qing spoke to the already weary crowd. Earlier, after finishing the food, he had arranged everyone's resting rooms with Lu Haoran and 2 male students assigned to the room across. Meanwhile, several female students along with Su Zhixian and Pei Yushan were arranged in the 2 dormitories on this side. As for the northernmost dormitory, aside from Zhang Qing himself, others were not allowed to enter freely. This was because Zhang Qing had concentrated all the food in that room as he needed to prepare for the worst-case scenario. Originally, Zhang Qing thought that as long as they could hold out until the eerie fog dissipated, everyone would go their separate ways, so he didn't control their food intake. But now, since everyone was willing to follow his leadership, he had to take responsibility for everyone's safety. Although this was not Zhang Qing's original intention, under the influence of Zhao Tietue and the others, his mindset had unknowingly changed. In his past life, after Zhao Taichua's death, he had always been a lone wolf. Although he occasionally joined some survivor teams, it was merely to meet immediate needs. Moreover, it was because he joined a survivor team that he was ultimately betrayed by his teammates and sent to the battlefield of the Starry Corridor. However, this also allowed him to gain a second chance, reborn 10 years earlier. Yet after his rebirth, Zhang Qing's mindset remained resistant to teaming up with others. He was unwilling to trust anyone except Zhao Tietue. But after several battles side by side, a crack had opened up in Zhang Qing's heart, slowly accepting Pei Yushan, Fang Shiyun, and Su Zhixian. As for Lu Haoran, he was still under observation. Once Zhang Qing confirmed that Lu Haoran was the same as the one from his past life, he would delegate some power to him. Because Lu Haoran was a born leader, better at uniting people's hearts. Alright, it has come to this, let's all go rest. Only by resting well can we survive better. Lu Haoran stood up, advising everyone, then nodded at Zhang Qing. Well, come to take over from you in the second half. After saying this, he took the 2 male students and left the room. Seeing Lu Haoran and the others leave, several female students entered the middle dormitory, leaving only Pei Yushan and Su Zhixian behind. You should also go rest. It's enough for me and Tietue to be here, Zhang Qing said to the 2 girls. Pei Yushan noticed that Su Zhixian had no intention of leaving, so she remained still, gently stroking her silver dragon spear. At that moment, the door to the southernmost dormitory opened and Fang Shiyun walked out with a blank expression. Zhang Qing, I apologize for what happened earlier. I've already spoken to her, and I assure you it won't happen again, Fang Shiyun sincerely said as he sat down. Zhang Qing nodded, saying nothing more, as sometimes unspoken understanding was sufficient. Where are the others? Fang Shiyun looked around, seeing only the 5 of them left, with one of them sound asleep. I let them all go rest. We 3 will keep watch during the first half of the night, and Lu Haoran and his team will take the second half, Zhang Qing replied calmly. I just noticed that all communication via phones has been interrupted. It seems you were right. The entire Jinling city has probably been overtaken by the white eerie beasts. Fang Xian's expression turned grim as he recalled trying to call Fang Tianxiao to report his safety only to find no signal when he pulled out his phone. The situation is far more serious than we imagined. However, once the eerie fog dissipates, the military might launch a counterattack. Zhang Qing also furrowed his brow, realizing that this time the eerie fog attack was much more rapid and intense than in his past life, and the mutation speed of the white eerie beasts had also accelerated. He wondered what other changes would occur next. So can we take the opportunity of the military's counterattack to lead? Fang Xian's eyes lit up. In theory, the military's offensive will attract a large number of white eerie beasts, which is our best chance to escape. Zhang Qing nodded. In his past life, he and Zhao Tiechui had escaped Jinling City, while the military was engaged in a battle with the white eerie beasts. But on the way they would still encounter scattered white eerie beasts, and at that time humans were even more dangerous than the white eerie beasts. Hey, look outside the window. Oh, what is that? While Zhang Qing and Fang Shiyun were whispering, Pei Yushan suddenly pointed towards the northern window with her. Zhang Qing turned his head to look outside, only to find a purple pillar of light shooting into the sky not far away, and his expression immediately turned serious. Then Zhang Qing stood up and walked to the window, looking at the location of the purple pillar, which was near Xuanwu Lake Park, not far from Jinling University. At this moment, the eerie fog seemed to have thinned significantly, though otherwise they would not have been able to notice the existence of the purple pillar. What is that purple pillar? Fang Shiyun asked, astonished. That should be the light emitted by the purple gold wheel, Zhang Qing said with piercing eyes. The purple gold wheel, what is that? Pei Yushan asked curiously. Zhang Qing showed a hint of hesitation, but ultimately decided to reveal the secret of the destiny wheel to a few people in advance, as they would soon understand its purpose. The purple gold wheel is a type of destiny wheel. As long as there is a source crystal, it can be activated. Zhang Qing began to explain the utility of the destiny wheel, and this explanation lasted for 10 minutes. So what should we do now? Should we go to Xuanwu Lake Park and bloodbind the purple gold wheel? Pei Yushan said with a hint of excitement in her beautiful eyes. Is the destiny wheel you're talking about this one? At that moment, Su Zhixian suddenly spoke, then pointed her delicate finger towards the middle of the living room, and a white light instantly flew out from her brow. Immediately, Zhang Qing and the others saw a sparkling large wheel appear in the living room. The diameter of the wheel was nearly 2 meters, and the surface was divided into 11 equally sized triangular areas. Like a flat surface cut from a whole diamond, it had a diamond pointer about the thickness of a finger, which was similar to Zhang Qing's white jade wheel, except for the different materials, it was slightly smaller. Of course, the item patterns on the wheel were entirely different. Each destiny wheel showed different item patterns based on diamond wheel. When did you acquire it? Zhang Qing was utterly shocked this time. He hadn't expected that aside from his own white jade wheel, Su Zhixian also possessed a diamond wheel. Moreover, judging by Su Zhixian's confused expression, she likely did not understand how to use the diamond wheel. I found it 3 years ago while visiting Longhu Mountain by chance. Su Zhixian's clear eyes fell into a moment of recollection, as she could no longer remember the specific details. 3 years ago, did you bloodbind it? Zhang Qing asked, his eyes flickering. No. Su Zhixian shook her head. Then hurry and bloodbind it. This is your great opportunity. Zhang Qing kindly reminded her if it weren't for Su Zhixian saving him, he might have wanted to claim the diamond wheel as it. Fang Shiyun and Pei Yushan gazed upon the diamond tier roulette wheel before them, their eyes flickering with quiet envy. Zhang Qing had already explained clearly, the higher the tier of the wheel, the greater its benefit for future cultivation and evolution. Why don't you take this diamond roulette wheel? I believe you need it more than I do. Su Zhixian lowered her head in thought, then lifted it again. Her gaze clear, pure, and unblemished as she looked at Zhang Qing. Give it to me. Zhang Qing's body trembled faintly, his pupils contracted as he met Su Zhixian's limpid water-like eyes. The first time his heart had ever stirred so deeply. Yes, I see you've already gathered quite a few origin crystals. You should be able to spin this wheel now. A gentle smile graced Su Zhixian's lips, radiant and untainted by worldly impurity. Zhang Qing drew a slow, deep breath, his gaze for the first time softening with warmth. Thank you, but I don't need this wheel. You should perform bloodbinding yourself. I possess my own destiny roulette wheel. Su Zhixian hadn't expected such an immediate refusal. A ripple of surprise shimmered across her autumn water. She had heard Zhang Qing's words clearly and understood the profound significance of the destiny roulette wheel for humanity. Yet she had never imagined he would decline. Zhang Qing, you already have your own destiny roulette wheel. Pei Yushan blurted out, eyes wide with astonishment. Watching Su Zhixian offer her own destiny wheel to Zhang Qing, a subtle pang of bitterness stirred within her chest. Indeed, each of you will soon acquire your own destiny roulette wheel. Only by obtaining one can you grow ever stronger amid the apocalypse. Zhang Qing spoke with solemn conviction. What about the purple gold roulette wheel at Xuanwu Lake? Should we retrieve it? Fang Shiyun's blood surged with fervor as if he'd finally glimpsed the path to power. Venturing out now would be perilously premature. We'll wait until the veil of phantoms has fully dissipated. Zhang Qing's gaze lingered cautiously on the towering violet light pillar piercing the sky beyond the window. Agreed, we'll follow your lead. Fang Shiyun knew well that haste makes waste. And according to Zhang Qing, more destiny roulette wheels would emerge over time. He too longed for the supreme diamond tier wheel. Zhang Qing, what tier is your roulette wheel? Pei Yushan asked, eyes alight with curiosity. Mine is rather unique. You'll understand in due time. Zhang Qing deliberately left the matter veiled in mystery. What are you all discussing? Just then Zhao Tietue sat up groggily from the sofa, rubbing his eyes with sleepy bewilderment as he glanced around at the group. We're debating whether to toss you down as dinner for the white phantom beasts, Zhang Qing remarked dryly. I know you wouldn't dare. Zhao Tietue rose with a mischievous grin, his gaze landing upon the diamond roulette wheel at the center of the living room, its surface shimmering with a soft crystalline luster. Where'd you get this lucky spinning wheel? He stepped forward and reached out, fingertips brushing the radiant, flawless diamond disc. Shink. A sharp metallic ring echoed, the sound of a sword drawn from its scabbard. Instantly Zhao Tietue felt a chill against his throat as an icy blade settled upon his shoulder. The razor-edged blade gleamed with frosty light, less than a centimeter from his neck. Sword, immortal lady, what is the meaning of this? I've done nothing wrong. Zhao Tietue turned slowly, offering Su Zhixian, a woman of serene glacial beauty, a wry apologetic smile. Young master, please explain the destiny roulette wheel to Tietue. I'd rather not repeat myself. Zhang Qing sighed, faintly shaking his head. Destiny roulette wheel? What's that? Zhao Tietue blinked, utterly bewildered. Brother Tietue, come, let's step into the corridor for a smoke. Fang Shiyun pulled out a pack of Jinling brand cigarettes and waved it teasingly before Zhao Tietue. You mentioning it reminded me. I haven't smoked all day. With exaggerated care, Zhao Tietue plucked the cold blade from Su Zhixian's hand using only 2 fingers, then vanished from the room in a flash. Watching Fang Shiyun and Zhao Tietue depart, Su Zhixian stood motionless before the diamond roulette wheel, sword still in hand, uncertain, hesitant. Just make a small cut on your fingertip and drip a single drop of blood onto the wheel's surface. Zhang Qing's voice broke the silence. At his words, Su Zhixian extended her left index finger, held the sword in her right hand, and made a delicate incision, revealing a tiny vivid bead of crimson. She then let the droplet fall upon the diamond wheel's surface. A pulse of crystalline light flared. Then the blood vanished entirely, absorbed without trace. Once infused with Su Zhixian's blood, the wheel's dazzling brilliance dimmed, its radiance receding until it resembled nothing more than a translucent glass disc. My head feels dizzy. With a mere thought, Su Zhixian retracted the diamond wheel into her forehead, but immediately a torrent of overwhelming information flooded her mind, causing her slender frame to sway unsteadily. Zhang Qing moved swiftly, catching her delicate form before she could stumble, her body yielding softly against him, yet his heart remained untouched by desire. Lie down and rest a while. This is the destiny roulette, while transmitting its knowledge to you. Gently guiding her onto the sofa, Zhang Qing spoke with quiet, unwavering warmth. Pei Yushan, watching from the side, lowered her eyes, her expression dimming with quiet resolve. Inwardly, she vowed she too would claim a diamond tier roulette wheel. 3 hours later, Su Zhixian stirred awake from her deep slumber. Her gaze fell upon Zhang Qing seated cross-legged on the floor, and for a fleeting moment something unreadable flickered in her eyes. You're awake. Zhang Qing sensed her gaze and turned his head. Where are the others? Su Zhixian sat up, her beautiful eyes sweeping the room, only to find herself alone with Zhang Qing in the living area. I sent them to rest. They'll relieve me in the late hours. His face remained calm and composed, its refined, austere features bearing a gravity far beyond his years. I've just assimilated all the information from the diamond wheel. Would you like to hear it? Su Zhixian hesitated slightly. Can your wheel evolve? A spark of keen insight flashed in Zhang Qing's deep-set eyes as he asked directly, without pretense. Yes, if supplied with sufficient origin crystals, it may evolve continuously, ultimately reaching Tier 9. Su Zhixian paused, recalling the details before speaking softly. And beyond Tier 9, can it evolve further? Zhang Qing's brows lifted faintly, his mind already calculating the implications. Yes, but it is exceedingly difficult. It requires 1 heart of time and space, plus 9 blood origin crystals harvested from sovereign-tier phantom beasts. A rare shadow of concern crossed Su Zhixian's exquisite face. Heart of time and space. 9 blood origin crystals from sovereign-tier phantom beasts. Zhang Qing's expression shifted to stunned disbelief. Sovereign-tier phantom beasts surpassed even celestial tier 1s in might, each capable of shattering mountains and cleaving peaks, their power terrifyingly immense. As for the heart of time and space, he had never even heard of such a thing. The wheel offered no explanation, Apparently, I must seek its nature for myself. A trace of uncertainty flickered in Su Zhexian's dark luminous eyes. There's no rush. Elevating the diamond wheel from Tier 1 to Tier 9 will serve you well for many years to come. Zhang Qing exhaled slowly, his composure restored. I understand. Su Zhexian gave a slight, graceful nod, the flawless contours of her face revealing quiet, unshakable determination. Under the faint light, Zhang Qing gazed at Su Zhexian's exquisite face, a subtle ripple appearing in his eyes. Even having seen countless beauties in his past life, none could compare to the Su Zhexian before him. Whether in temperament or appearance, Su Zhexian had already reached the pinnacle of the mundane world. But soon Zhang Qing forcibly suppressed the fluttering emotions within his heart. In the face of the apocalypse, romance would only become a burden for survival. He had witnessed countless loving couples who in their struggle for survival loved and killed each other in the wasteland. In the apocalypse, love was less practical than a loaf of bread. You should go back to your dorm to rest. You girls don't have to keep watch tonight. Zhang Qing dismissed the chaotic thoughts in his mind, feeling a sense of annoyance. Such emotions had vanished for him a decade ago. In his past life during the apocalypse, he only thought about becoming stronger and surviving, having no time to ponder such matters of love. Yet in the presence of Su Zhexian, he felt an inexplicable fear. Not a fear of gaining her, but a fear. Thus he chose to evade. I'm not tired right now. Oh, I'll just stay here and keep you company. Su Zhexian's lips curled into a gentle smile, revealing a delicate arc. Although Zhang Qing appeared cold on the surface for some reason, she always wanted to be with him, even relishing the feeling of being alone together. Do as you wish. Zhang Qing replied calmly, placing his young knife on the ground behind him, then crossed his fingers and lay back on the scabbard. Seeing this, Su Zhexian also reclined on the sofa, her beautiful eyes blinking gently as she gazed at Zhang Qing's profile in the dim light, feeling an overwhelming sense of peace within her heart. It seemed that as long as Zhang Qing was present, the apocalypse held no terror. Time flowed slowly, and before they knew it, it was already the early hours of the morning. When Lu Haoran and two other boys opened the door and saw Zhang Qing lying on the floor and Su Zhexian on the sofa, they silently retreated. Seeing the three leave, Zhang Qing turned around and met a pair of bright, sparkling eyes gazing at him. Get some sleep. There are still 3 hours until dawn. Zhang Qing said softly, then closed his eyes. MHM, good night. Su Zhexian softly replied, closing her gentle, watery eyes. At that moment, the eerie fog outside faded increasingly, while the purple light beam in the distance grew ever brighter. Even from 100 miles away, one could see that soaring purple radiance. The cold wind stirred, and the world fell silent. The sky soon brightened, though under the influence of the eerie fog, the entire room still appeared somewhat dim. However, compared to yesterday's eerie fog, today's visibility had reached 5 meters, hardly affecting outdoor activities. Feeling the vibration from his phone, Zhang Qing woke from his slumber. However, compared to yesterday's eerie fog, today's visibility had reached 5 meters, hardly affecting outdoor activities. Feeling the vibration from his phone, Zhang Qing woke. This roar also marked the start of the frenzied slaughter in Jinling City. Hiss, hiss, hiss. Accompanying that thunderous roar, a series of sharp screeches echoed throughout the campus of Jinling University. Everyone who had still been in slumber was jolted awake by the sudden roar. Soon, all gathered in the living room. Everyone, don't panic. The eerie fog has started to dissipate. I estimate the military will soon take action, and we need to be prepared. Zhang Qing addressed the panicked crowd. When I woke up, I thought everything that happened yesterday was a dream. I didn't expect it to all be real. What do we need to do now? Just wait around like this. Zhao Tiechue said, his face pale as he listened to the echoing roars outside. Lu Haoran's eyes were filled with bloodshot veins, clearly indicating he hadn't slept well last night. In fact, not only Lu Haoran but everyone else had also struggled to sleep after all the events of yesterday had hit them hard. With the world on the brink of apocalypse, how could one sleep soundly? Of course, there were exceptions like Zhang Qing, Su Zhexian, and Zhao Tiechue, who all slept quite well. It's not about waiting, it's about preparing for battle, Zhang Qing said with a cold expression, causing the crowd to be taken aback. If I'm not mistaken, there are likely second-tier white eerie beasts already appearing on campus. And second-tier white eerie beasts have sensitive senses and can easily detect our presence, so a bloody battle is imminent. Zhang Qing scanned the crowd. How powerful are second-tier white eerie beasts? Fang Shiyun inquired with a glimmer in his eyes. The strength of one second-tier white eerie beast is at least equivalent to 5 first-tier white eerie beasts, and their sharp tentacles will increase to 4. Every time they advance a tier, the number of tentacles on a white eerie beast increases by 1 pair, so we can determine the tier of a white eerie beast based on the number of its tentacles. The same principle applies to beasts mutated from animals. If you encounter a white eerie beast, or a ferocious mutated beast with many tentacles, your best option is to flee. You do not harbor any illusions of fighting them. Otherwise you will die a miserable death, especially with ferocious mutated beasts, which are even more bloodthirsty and brutal, far surpassing the strength of white eerie beasts mutated from humans. Zhang Qing patiently explained to everyone who listened attentively, their expressions growing increasingly grave. Hey everyone, look at your phones, an official announcement has been made. As soon as Zhang Qing finished speaking, a girl called out. At that moment, everyone noticed that each of their phones had received a message. Zhang Qing also took out his phone, glancing at the contents with flickering eyes. The message contained a lot of information, first introducing the current global situation, just as Zhang Qing had speculated yesterday. The world has entered a disaster phase with countries in a state of chaos, countless humans mutated into white eerie beasts, and everyone needs to take self-saving actions. It also detailed the weaknesses of the white eerie beasts, instructing humans on how to efficiently hunt them. Before anyone could finish reading the message, everyone received a second notification. This was a message from the Jinling military stating that around 10 o'clock, they would begin exterminating the white eerie beasts in Jinling City. All surviving humans need to make their way to the underground shelters. Finally, it provided the detailed locations of 5 shelters outside of Jinling City. Should we follow the message and head to these shelters? Pei Yushan asked Zhang Qing with an inquiring look, and everyone displayed hopeful expressions. Currently, Zhang Qing was the leader among them, so everyone naturally sought his opinion first. Zhang Qing frowned, deeply recalling that in his past life, he and Zhao Tietue had never visited these shelters. However, he had later heard of the horrific situations at these shelters, 3 of which were breached by white eerie beasts. The other 2 faced massive riots due to food shortages and overpopulation. In the end, many were slaughtered, and both shelters turned into hell on earth. Only a very small number of people. Everyone remained silent, awaiting Zhang Qing's response. Finally, with a calm expression, Zhang Qing said, "If anyone wants to go to the shelter, I won't stop you, but I won't go." Zhang Qing's answer surprised everyone, including Zhao Tietue, Pei Yushan, and Feng Shiyun, who all looked puzzled. Only Lu Haoran and Su Zhixian revealed thoughtful expressions. Since Brother Qing isn't going, then I won't go either. In fact, I'm planning to return to my hometown Langya City. Zhao Tietue was the first to voice his stance. The earlier information had officially informed everyone that the world had entered a disaster period, so now his greatest concern was the safety of his family. I, along with Qian Jiao and Yushan, will first return to the weapon shop, and then we will decide based on the situation. Feng Shiyun also spoke up. Upon hearing this, Wu Qianjiao, who stood beside him, frowned, clearly reluctant. Pei Yushan nodded in agreement with Feng Shiyun's decision. I have decided to follow Brother Zhang. As long as Brother Zhang doesn't mind me, I'm fine with it. Lu Haoran also smiled and expressed his intention. The remaining 2 boys clearly followed Lu Haoran's lead and decided to go with Zhang Qing. As for the few girls, they had no choice but to go with the flow and follow Zhang Qing. If they chose to go to the shelter, they probably wouldn't even make it out of the school gates and would end up as prey for the white monsters. Alright, since no one is going to the shelter, what we need to do first is to withstand the first wave of attacks from the white monsters. If I'm not mistaken, the white monsters have already begun their slaughter of the classrooms and dormitory buildings. Zhang Qing said calmly. Bang, bang, bang. As soon as Zhang Qing finished speaking, 3 loud crashing sounds echoed from below the dormitory, and the entire building felt a tremor. What is happening? Everyone wore expressions of shock and confusion, panic spreading across their faces. Just after saying that I didn't expect them to arrive. Everyone get ready to fight. This time, they will definitely charge up to the 6th floor. Zhang Qing picked up the lark knife from the ground, his eyes filled with killing intent. From the sound of this impact, it seems much more violent than yesterday. It is likely that even stronger white monsters are coming. Lu Haoran perked up his ears, carefully listening to the intense crashing sounds from below, his face slightly pale. Tietue, go grab that large bag of bread and milk from the room. Everyone needs to replenish their strength. The upcoming battle may be brutal. Zhang Qing instructed Zhao Tietue. All right, Zhao Tietue replied and walked into the northernmost dormitory. Soon after, he emerged holding a large plastic bag printed with the logo of the FA supermarket. Here, each man gets 2 pieces of bread and a bottle of milk. The women, except for Su Zhixian and Pei Yushan, will get 1 bottle of milk and half a piece of bread. Zhang Qing took the bag from Zhao Taichu's hands and addressed everyone. Why do you men get 2 pieces of bread while we women only get half a piece? Wu Qianjiao said with an unhappy expression, and the other women showed similar discontent. Even the men looked at Zhang Qing with confusion, eager to see how he would respond. Lu Haoran, you explained to them why I distributed it this way. These supplies were pre-distributed by Zhang Qing and Lu Haoran the night before, and he had shared the reasoning behind this allocation with Lu Haoran. Everyone, don't misunderstand. The reason men get 2 pieces of bread is that they need to maintain good physical condition to fight against the white monsters. And you women don't need to fight at this moment, so you have to endure this a bit. This is also to prepare for the impending food crisis. Lu Haoran explained sincerely to the women. What about Su Zhixian and Pei Yushan? Wu Qianjiao pointed at Su Zhixian and Pei Yushan, her face filled with jealousy. Those two will also participate in the battle. Anyone willing to enter the corridor to fight the white monsters can have the same ration as the boys. Zhang Qing said coldly, looking at Wu Qianjiao. If you don't eat, then don't eat. Oh, what's the big deal? Wu Qianjiao felt a chill from Zhang Qing's icy gaze, scoffing softly before returning to her dormitory. All right, since no one has any objections, take your share of food. Zhang Qing placed the bag on the ground. Lu Haoran took the lead, grabbing a bottle of milk and 2 pieces of bread. Seeing this, the others also went to take their respective portions. In the end, there were 8.5 pieces of bread and 5 bottles of milk left in the bag. You will have the same amount as the boys, which is 2 pieces of bread and a bottle of milk. However, from now on, you must fight alongside us boys. Zhang Qing looked calmly at Pei Yushan and Su Zhixian. That's what I wanted. Pei Yushan huffed, then took 2 pieces of bread and a bottle of milk, sitting down on a nearby sofa to eat. I actually only need 1 piece of bread. I'll give the other one to you. Su Zhixian said, handing 1 piece of bread to Zhang Qing. To maintain your strength, you need to eat 2 pieces of bread. Zhang Qing did not take the bread, but looked at her intently. That makes sense. Su Zhixian smiled brightly, then also took her bread and milk and sat down on the sofa. The 2 girls sat on the same sofa, but occupied opposite ends, clearly having a stance of not interfering with each other. Little boss, the rest is for you. Zhang Qing took out a bottle of milk and 2 pieces of bread, handing the remaining 2 bottles of milk and 2.5 pieces of bread to Fang Shiyun. Thank you. Fang Shiyun took the bag, hesitated for a moment, and then headed towards the dormitory where Wu Qianjiao was. Hiss! Just then, while everyone was eating bread and drinking milk, a sharp screech echoed from downstairs. Immediately after, a loud bang sounded, as if the door of the dormitory building had been completely smashed open by the white monsters. Wait, Zhao Tietue, and I will ambush on the 5th floor. You all take care of the 6th floor. Zhang Qing swallowed the last bite of bread, his eyes sparkling with cold light. All right. Lu Haoran nodded. He and the other 2 boys had no weapons and could hardly be of any help, only able to hold the legs of a table in case of an emergency. The main forces on the 6th floor would still be Fang Shiyun, Pei Yushan, and Su Zhixian. As long as we can withstand the first wave of attacks, the white monsters won't recklessly attack again. After all, they are mutated humans, so they still retain some instincts to seek benefits and avoid harm. Zhang Qing reassured everyone, drawing on his past experiences. Generally, after suffering significant losses, white monsters would stop attacking until stronger ones appeared before launching their next assault. However, he had not mentioned that although the white monsters would not attack again after their first defeat, they would surround the dormitory building, greatly reducing their chances of escape. But with pros come cons, and now Zhang Qing could only take 1 step at a time. After the plan was set, Zhang Qing led Zhao Tietue from the northernmost dormitory balcony and slid down to the 5th floor on a bedsheet rope they had fastened. No sooner had they set foot in the 5th floor dormitory than a brutal hiss and roar echoed from the 3rd floor corridor. Proof that the Bai Guisho were swift, already surging to the 3rd level. Brother Qing, can we hold off this wave of Bai Guisho? Zhao Tietue asked, a flicker of timidity marring his simple face. Though he professed not to fear death in the face of this global catastrophe, his human frailty showed. Don't worry, out with me here. I will never let you fall before I do. Zhang Qing's eyes were unyieldingly resolute. Seeing his stern, earnest expression, Zhao Tietue paused, then broke into a sheepish grin. Brother Qing, why are you so good to me? Do you remember what I told you when we met yesterday? Zhang Qing asked, a trace of recollection flickering in his gaze, as if they had been hurled back into that merciless apocalypse. Zhao Tietue lifted his head and glanced at the ceiling, his voice growing hushed. You said I'm your good brother. Exactly. I am your good brother, and I will not let you die before me. Zhang Qing split a smile and added inwardly, not in this life. Sensing confusion in Zhao Tietue's eyes, he refrained from further explanation and strode toward the corridor. Having a brother like that isn't so bad, Zhao Tietue said with a simple, contented smile as he watched Zhang Qing slide back. Move. There's only a minute before the Bai Guisho arrive. Zhang Qing called without turning. All right. Zhao Tietue hefted his imposing Miao Dao and trailed closely behind him. At that moment, no fewer than 10 Bai Guisho battered the barricade at the 5th floor stairwell. Zhang Qing led Zhao Tietue into room 509 in the middle of the corridor to hide. They had chosen that room because it offered both offensive avenues and defensive cover, ideal for hunting the. Soon a piercing hiss sliced the air as heavy, chaotic footsteps pounded ever closer to Zhang Qing and Zhao Tietue's ears. When humans mutated into Bai Guisho, their arms and forelimbs lengthened into slender, razor-sharp forepaws, their thighs and feet transformed into thick, powerful hind limbs capped with hard, crushing claws. They're here. Zhao Tietue said, his expression grave as he cupped an ear to the corridor. 4 of them. They'll strike first. You stay inside, don't come out. Zhang Qing issued the warning. All right. Zhao Tietue nodded, He now followed Zhang Qing's orders with Zhang Qing slowly drew his Yunk Dao and eased to the doorway, peering through the crack to see a Tier 1 Bai Guisho already step into the lounge. The Bai Guisho hissed hoarsely as it charged into the leftmost dormitory. Seizing the moment, Zhang Qing slipped from the room and pressed himself against the wall by that dormitory's door. The instant the Bai Guisho stepped through the doorway, Zhang Qing raised his Yunk Dao and cleaved down with both hands. The blade flashed, a whisper of steel biting bone. The 2.3-meter beast's head was bisected by Zhang Qing's strike, blood sprayed in a crimson arc. With a soft thud, the carcass collapsed to the floor. Outside the door came a sharp hoarse screech. Then 3 Bai Guisho hurled themselves into the room. The earlier sounds and the heavy scent of blood had alerted the others. Seeing only 3 Tier 1 Bai Guisho rush, and Zhang Qing rapped the wall with the spine of his blade. "Tietue, come out and practice your hand." No sooner had he spoken than Zhao Tietue lunged out, both hands gripping his narrow Miao Dao. "Kill!" Zhang Qing barked, taking the blade in one hand and slashing diagonally at the largest Bai Guisho. "Leave the 2 little ones to me." Zhao Tietue snarled, eyes ablaze as he faced the remaining 2 low-tier Tier 1 Bai Guisho. "Die!" Zhang Qing's strike was swift and merciless. Before the Bai Guisho could react, the keen edge had already ripped into its heart. Instantly, a grisly gash tore across the beast's broad body, as if Zhang Qing's blade might split it cleanly in two. The mutated Zhao Tietue had grown markedly stronger than the day before. Both his speed and power were more than enough to overwhelm the 2 Tier 1 Bai Guisho with steady control. Finally, Zhao Tietue severed all 4 of the creature's sharp tendrils, then delivered a clean horizontal cut that utterly separated their heads from their bodies. "How was that? Pretty good, right?" Zhao Tietue kicked the ugly head that had rolled to his feet and beamed with pride at Zhang Qing. "Your broken edge 8 cuts are nothing more than beginner moves," Zhang Qing shot back mercilessly. "You actually know the style I'm using?" Zhao Taichu's eyes widened like twin gongs. The broken edge 8 cuts are the most practical battlefield blade technique. It's had a century-long history in Longhua and is widely practiced among the people. "It's not surprising I know it." Zhang Qing's mouth twitched. "Fair enough. But our family's version of the broken edge 8 cuts has been passed down since my great-grandfather. I've trained at it for 10 years. Zhao Tietue bristled with indignation, convinced his broken edge 8 cuts had long achieved mastery. "Wait, you'll see what the true broken edge 8 cuts look like." Zhang Qing's gaze turned icy. "Then I truly want to see." Zhao Taichu's eyes lit up. "Let's go to the 6th floor. They should already be engaged with the Bai Guisho." Hearing intermittent hisses from above, Zhang Qing's expression hardened. "Move." Zhao Tietue cheekily flicked his thumb across his nose, then strode out of the room. The 6th floor corridor was packed with a dozen or more towering Tier 1 Bai Guisho. 2 carcasses already lay sprawled on the floor. Even the smallest of them stood at 2 meters. Almost uniformly, they were high-tier or super-tier Bai Guisho. Clearly, the main force of the Bai Guisho had converged on the 6th floor. At the forefront stood Fang Shiyun and Su Zhixian with blade and sword. They had already slain 2 Bai Guisho. Pei Yushan stood behind them, ready to support with the reach of her yin-long spear. "I wonder how Zhang Qing and Zhao Tietue are faring." Fang Shiyun watched the Bai Guisho closing in with an expression like cold steel. "Let's focus on ourselves for now. With Zhang Qing there, they'll be fine." Pei Yushan gripped her yin-long spear with both hands. The glinting diamond-shaped spearhead was already smeared with blood. Clearly, she had played her part in killing those 2 Bai Guisho. A towering superclass white monster standing at a height of 2 meters and 3 let out a sharp screech towards Fang Shiyun and the other 2. Immediately after, the superclass white monster lunged forward with its formidable-long toma-ridden sharp tentacles, aiming viciously at Su Zhixian and Fang Shiyun on either side. "Kill!" Fang Shiyun shouted furiously, gripping the straight-edged Yinling knife tightly in one hand and swung it at the sharp tentacle. The blade sliced through the air, severing the sharp tentacle, which fell to the ground, blood gushing forth. Meanwhile, Su Zhixian with his snow-white long sword executed a horizontal slash in midair, instantly cutting another tentacle of the white monster. "Die!" Taking advantage of the moment, Pei Yushan thrust her silver dragon spear, its shimmering tip piercing rapidly into the heart of the superclass white monster. Pei Yushan withdrew her blood-soaked spear, her beautiful eyes coldly watching as the white monster hiss, hiss, hiss. Seeing another white monster being killed by Pei Yushan and the others, the remaining white monsters let out furious howls and launched a full-scale attack on the trio. "With my Yinling knife, the cold light shines like ice and snow." "Kill!" As the white monsters surged forward, Fang Xian's eyes burned with boundless killing intent. The Yinling knife in his hand glistened with a chilling light as he struck down at a charging white monster. "It's now or never." Pei Yushan twirled her silver dragon spear in midair, forming a flower of spears, and charged towards another white monster. Su Zhixian's beautiful eyes flickered as she nimbly dodged a tentacle attack from a white monster. With a clever swing of her 3-foot-long sword, she instantly slashed the creature's throat. The chaotic battle erupted completely. In the back, Lu Haoran, hiding in a room, nervously gripped the leg of a 1-meter-long table, occasionally peeking out to check the situation in the corridor. How are Shiyun and the others? Wu Qianjiao asked Lu Haoran, her eyes filled with panic. It's a full-blown fight now, and the situation looks grim. Lu Haoran saw that Pei Yushan and the others had already been driven into 3 separate rooms by the white monsters, his expression grave. What should we do? Those white monsters won't rush in here, will they? Wu Qianjiao's pretty face tightened with anxiety. Although they had survived the anomaly, her physical abilities had not improved much, as she was only slightly stronger than an average person. This made her utterly unwilling to face the bloodthirsty and ruthless white monsters. We must prepare for the worst. You girls should first hide in the dormitory. Lu Haoran decisively ordered. All right, let's head to the dormitory first. Wu Qianjiao in a daze then followed the other 4 girls into the dormitory. Though they knew hiding in the dormitory would only provide them with mental comfort, once the boys were all dead, they would undoubtedly meet the same fate. As several girls entered the dormitory, only Lu Haoran and 2 average-looking boys remained in the living room. One of the boys, with a long face, narrow eyes, and a height of about 1.75 meters, whispered to Lu Haoran, "Haoran, shouldn't we escape? Staying here is definitely a dead end." I agree with Yang Tao's suggestion. With so many white monsters in the corridor, if even 2 rush in, we are doomed. Another slightly plump boy chimed in. We can't escape. Firstly, one must be trustworthy, since I promised Zhang Qing and the others I can't. Secondly, the entire campus is swarming with white monsters. Just the 3 of us have no hope of surviving if we leave this building. I know you're scared, but especially in times like this, we must unite and never abandon our teammates. Lu Haoran's reasoning made the 2 boys lower their heads in shame, no longer mentioning the idea of bang. Just then a superclass white monster suddenly broke through the door, charging into the living room, its bloodthirsty eyes coldly fixed on the 3. It's now or never. Seeing the towering white monster over 2 meters tall, with a fierce gaze, Lu Haoran raised a long rectangular table leg of just over 1 meter and charged forward recklessly. Smash! The superclass white monster swung its tentacles covered in tumors, striking Lu Haoran's chest like lightning, causing him to stumble and fall to the ground. The burning pain in his chest nearly suffocated Lu Haoran, as he then saw Yang Tao pierced through the heart by another tentacle of the white monster. The slightly plump boy was so terrified by the sight before him that his face went blank, his body trembling, and he lost control of his bladder. A foul stench spread through the air. Wang Chao, get out of the way. Lu Haoran gritted his teeth against the pain in his chest and shouted at the pair. However, the next second, the superclass white monster used its sharp claws, smashing Wang Chaos' head like a watermelon. Blood and white matter splattered across the living room, a thick stench of blood filling the air, inducing feelings of nausea and despair. Watching the white monster advance step by step towards him, Lu Haoran's eyes revealed a determination. With a mighty roar, a powerful force erupted from Lu Haoran's body as he suddenly stood up and charged at the white monster. Bang! With a tremendous impact, Lu Haoran wrapped his arms tightly around the white monster's body, bringing it crashing down to the ground. He then swiftly drew a fruit knife from his waist and began stabbing wildly at the monster's beast-like face. Bang, bang, bang. Each stab was delivered with immense force, piercing deep into the flesh. He didn't know how many times he stabbed until the monster's face became a bloody mess and it finally ceased to breathe before he finally stopped his frenzied assault. At that moment, he was drenched in blood, even his black-framed glasses splattered with red, giving him a sap. Finally, he quietly stood up from the white monster's body, removed his glasses, and wiped them with a clean corner of his clothing. In this dark and turbulent world, my fate is in my own hands and not dictated by heaven. Lu Haoran tightly gripped the nearly 20-centimeter-long fruit knife, letting out a roar against the coming apocalypse. Well done. After Lu Haoran's unwilling roar, Zhao Taichui, carrying a fierce-looking knife, walked in covered in blood. At this moment, the dozens of white monsters in the corridor had all been completely slaughtered after Zhang Qing and Zhao Taichui launched a surprise attack from behind. Zhang Qing, Fang Shiyun, and Pei Yushan were all drenched in blood, standing at the door. Only Su Zhixian remained in her white attire, although upon closer inspection one could still see blooming blood flowers beneath her skirt. The bright red blood flowers, like torches in an icy world, completely ignited the fighting spirit within everyone. What a dark and turbulent world! My fate is in my own hands and not dictated by heaven. Fang Shiyun, filled with valor, looked at the transformed Lu Haoran with admiration, saying, Lu Haoran, you are a true man. Zhang Qing entered the living room, looking at the 3 corpses on the ground without any expression of sadness or joy. In a dark apocalyptic world, it is either you die or I die. If one wants to survive, one must push beyond the limits of ordinary humans. It seemed that Lu Haoran had fully accepted the harsh reality of the dark apocalypse, which made Zhang Qing regard him with newfound respect. Indeed, slaughter is the fastest path to growth. Has the first wave of attack ended? Pei Yushin's voice trembled faintly. Had Zhang Qing and Zhao Tietue not arrived just in time, the three of them would surely have suffered casualties. Not yet. Earlier I sensed a level 2 white ghast beast, but it was nowhere to be seen amid the recent carnage. That means a second wave is imminent. Only by slaying that level 2 white ghast beast will the assault cease. Zhang Qing's gaze sharpened with quiet calculation. Then what do we do now? Just wait here? Fang Shiyun frowned deeply. The narrow corridor had severely constrained his movements, and those of Pei Yushan and Su Zhixian. During the earlier battle, being surrounded by 2 or 3 white ghast beasts would leave them utterly overwhelmed. Only after retreating separately into rooms did the trio finally gain some breathing room. No, we descend immediately. Strike the head to slay the serpent. That level 2 white ghast beast must die. A flash of lethal intent flickered across Zhang Qing's eyes. Then let's cut our way out. Zhao Tietue declared, brimming with fierce excitement. I'll join you too. Lu Haoran, now composed, spoke with unwavering resolve. Shiyun, you're all heading downstairs. Just as the group prepared to leave their rooms, Wu Qianjiao opened the dormitory door and stepped out with several other girls. They had overheard every word of the conversation in the living room from their hiding place. Yes, stay upstairs and await our return, Fang Shiyun nodded. Let us accompany you downstairs instead. Left alone here, we vulnerable women are hardly safe. Wu Qianjiao feigned frailty. Fang Shiyun glanced toward Zhang Qing, seeking his counsel. You may descend with us, but life and death lie in fate alone. We bear no responsibility for your safety. Zhang Qing remained impassive. I don't need your protection. Wu Qianjiao sneered inwardly, regarding him as nothing more than a cold-blooded creature. Since everyone is descending, we'll seize the military's ongoing suppression of the white ghast beasts to evacuate the campus. Zhang Qing's eyes gleamed, not deigning to engage Wu Qianjiao further. And once we leave campus, where shall we go? Lu Haoran asked anxiously. First to Fang Shiyun's Zijin Mountain Arms Emporium. Then we'll decide our next course. Zhang Qing replied without hesitation. Circumstances had veered irrevocably from their original trajectory, forcing him to navigate step by uncertain step. Indeed, he sensed something greater looming, a rupture far surpassing anything he'd endured during his 10-year apocalypse in a prior life. Everything seemed accelerated. The appearance and dissipation of the ghast fog, which once lingered for nearly 3 days, had now nearly vanished within a single day. Human mutation into white ghast beasts had also surged forward in time, and even level 2 white ghast beasts, normally emerging only after a week, had manifested prematurely. Moreover, yesterday's earth-shaking bestial roar should never have echoed so early in the apocalypse's onset. All these anomalies pointed to one unsettling truth: space-time on planet Luosheng was accelerating. Imperceptible to ordinary people, yet undeniable to him. Only having survived a decade-long apocalypse could Zhang Qing deduce this. If his intuition proved correct, the stellar corridor would soon manifest, the true harbinger of humanity's doom. Once the stellar corridor opened, an endless tide of ghast beasts would pour onto Luosheng through its celestial gateway, against which humanity's current strength would stand utterly powerless. At that thought, urgency gripped Zhang Qing. He needed to ascend in power swiftly to confront dangers yet unseen. Thus he resolved to seize this descent, not merely to eliminate the level 2 white ghast beast, but to depart Jinling University. And crucially, by gathering just a few more blood source crystals, he could activate his celestial fate wheel. No time to lose. Let's go. Lu Haoran drew a deep breath, tightening his grip on a small fruit knife. Once we reach my family's arms emporium, I'll choose a fine weapon for you. Fang Shiyun clapped Lu Haoran's shoulder. Then many thanks. Lu Haoran laughed. The recent slaughter had transformed his demeanor's scholarly refinement, now interwoven with boldness and unbridled vitality. Only now did Zhang Qing truly recognize Lu Haoran's innate leadership aura, the very quality that in the coming apocalypse would enable him to forge one of the largest survivor enclaves. That realization kindled a new plan within Zhang Qing's mind. Scree, scree, scree. As the group moved toward the stairs, 3 piercing shrieks erupted from below, jolting every face to pallor. The level 2 white ghast beast remains, it's summoning others. We must destroy it without delay. Zhang Qing's gaze burned with intensity. What are we waiting for? Downstairs now. Zhao Tietue urged urgently. Everyone descends via the staircase. I'll load provisions into the vehicle, then circle behind to ambush the level 2 white ghast beast. Zhang Qing's expression hardened. Agreed, let's move. Fang Shiyun nodded and strode toward the door. The others followed without hesitation. Once the others departed, Zhang Qing first retrieved 2 bulging duffel bags from the dormitory, lowering them to the ground using a sheet rope. Then slinging his black backpack over his shoulders, he began extracting blood source crystals from the fallen white ghast beasts. After tallying, he counted 17 blood source crystals, bringing his total to 46. He now lacked only 18 more to reach the 64 required for spinning the celestial fate wheel. How eagerly I await my first spin. What marvels might it bestow? Standing on the 5th floor balcony, Zhang Qing's lips curved upward, a surge of unshakable confidence flooding his heart. He believed with this peerless jade wheel of fate in hand, he would not only survive the apocalypse, but grow ever stronger within it. They must have reached the ground floor by now. Through the balcony window, Zhang Qing watched white ghast beasts converge upon his dormitory building, his eyes glinting with icy resolve. Without pause, he slid open the glass balcony door, leapt clear, seized the sheet rope dangling from the 6th floor, and descended smoothly to the earth. Upon landing, he hoisted both bulging duffel bags, one in each hand, and carried them to the car parked beside the wall, setting them down gently. He opened the driver's door, tossed his black backpack onto the front seat, then lifted the 2 duffel bags into the rear leather seats, before locking the doors securely. Scanning the perimeter, he confirmed no white ghast beasts, or humans, were near. Only then did he tighten his grip on the cloud sparrow blade and advance along the wall toward the dormitory's main entrance. Dormitories typically featured 2 exits, front and rear. The rear was a fire escape door, reinforced and sealed, impervious even to present-day white ghast beasts. Thus they had needed only to barricade the front glass entrance. Soon Zhang Qing arrived at the corner of the dormitory entrance, poking his head out to observe the situation in front of the dormitory. At this moment, more than 20 tall white strange beasts had gathered in the open space in front of the dormitory. Among them was a white strange beast over 2.5 meters tall, standing out among the group like a crane among chickens. Seeing the 4 sharp tentacles growing behind that white strange beast, Zhang Qing confirmed his suspicions. Indeed, there was a 2nd-level white strange beast present. Zhang Qing scanned the surroundings and quietly made his way to the back of the white strange beast, hiding behind a towering tree. Meanwhile, Fang Shiyun and Zhao Tietue, who were on high alert at the entrance on the 1st floor, also spotted Zhang Qing's figure. Should we rush out? Zhao Tietue, upon seeing Zhang Qing's figure, felt much calmer, his eyes flashing with a fierce killing intent. Kill out. Create an opportunity for Zhang Qing to ambush that 2nd-level white strange beast. Fang Shiyun had already noticed the presence of the 2nd-level white strange beast, his voice cold. What are we waiting for? Let's go. Pei Yushan shouted, tightly gripping her silver dragon spear, and charged out. Upon seeing this, Zhao Tietue, Fang Shiyun, and Lu Haoran, 3 big men, were all taken aback and rushed out without thinking. Su Zixin looked at the 4 impulsive individuals, blinking her beautiful eyes several times, and handed her long sword to Wu Qianjiao beside her. Wu Qianjiao was startled and exclaimed, "I'm not going out. Just hold it for me, I need to tie up my hair," Su Zixin said with a peculiar look. "Oh, I see," Wu Qianjiao said awkwardly, but still accepted the 3-foot-long sword from Su Zixin. "Otherwise, what should I do?" Su Zixin smiled slightly, removed the black hair tie from her wrist, and gathered her flowing hair into a simple and neat ponytail, instantly transforming her demeanor. Her originally ethereal image immediately became clean and sharp, adding a hint of dominance. So, seeing Su Zixin's stunning jade-like face and the aura of elegance emanating from her, the nearby girls couldn't help but exclaim, "Thank you." Su Zixin turned back with a smile, took the long sword from Wu Qianjiao, and stepped out of the dormitory building. Watching Su Zixin's graceful and unrestrained figure, a deep jealousy flickered in Wu Qianjiao's eyes. Zhang Qing saw that Zhao Tietue and the others had rushed out and were already engaged in battle with the white strange beast, his gaze fixated on the 2nd-level white strange beast. The 2nd-level white strange beast at this moment cautiously retreated behind the 1st-level white strange beast that was battling, while Zhang Qing gently drew out his yonk knife. Now is the time. Just as the 2nd-level white strange beast was less than 10 meters away from Zhang Qing, he suddenly dashed out from behind a tree. With a quick leap, he soared into the air and swung his knife fiercely at the 2nd-level white strange beast's head. Seemingly sensing the danger, the 2nd-level white strange beast swiftly tilted its head to the right, narrowly avoiding the fatal blow. However, the sharp blade still severed one of its arms. Suffering a heavy blow, the 2nd-level white strange beast let out a roar, its black hole-like eyes glaring fiercely at Zhang Qing, the ambusher. What a pity, Zhang Qing thought to himself upon realizing that he hadn't been able to slay the 2nd-level white strange beast with one strike. Accompanied by the 2nd-level white strange beast's roar, 5 1st-level white strange beasts surrounding Zhao Tietue and the others immediately turned and charged at him. "Hammer, now let me show you what the real breaking edge 8 blades is," Zhang Qing shouted at the sight of the 5 1st-level white strange beasts rushing toward him. "Haha, then I must watch closely." Zhao Tietue, who was being besieged by 3 white strange beasts, disemboweled one with a single stroke and then laughed heartily. I can do the breaking edge 8 blades too. Fang Xian's eyes narrowed and his Yanling knife began to unleash powerful attacks, swiftly slashing down a 2-meter-tall, white strange beast. The breaking edge 8 blades has become so common now. Pei Yushin's long spear danced like a dragon, blocking the sharp tentacles that incessantly attacked her delicate face cold as she spoke. The breaking edge 8 blades is quite interesting. Su Zhixian moved gracefully, her long sword like a rainbow, each strike causing the white strange beasts surrounding her to howl endlessly. Facing a powerful strike of the breaking edge blade. As a white strange beast lunged at him with its sharp tentacles, Zhang Qing gripped his knife with both hands, shifting his feet to evade the attack. Then lightly tapping the ground with his toes, he leaped a meter into the air and struck down hard on the head of the attacking white strange beast. With a crack, the white strange beast's head was instantly split in half, blood splattering everywhere, leading to its demise. At that moment, 2 more white strange beasts attacked from the sides, and Zhang Qing pressed his knife with one hand blade down and slashed at the incoming tentacles. Hiss! A tentacle was severed and Zhang Qing swiftly moved forward, turning to charge at a white strange beast, slashing horizontally with his yunk knife. A horizontal swing to sever at the waist. Hiss! A gruesome head was sent flying high, blood gushing out from the severed neck. Awesome! Zhao Tietue exclaimed as he saw Zhang Qing truly perform the breaking edge 8 blades, executing it so cleanly and effortlessly. Such a sharp knife technique. Fang Shiyan also looked on in admiration. Although he could use the breaking edge 8 blades, he seemed a bit overshadowed compared to Zhang Qing. Moreover, Zhang Qing's breaking edge 8 blades appeared even more concise and efficient, seemingly specially refined for slaying white strange beasts. In fact, Fang Shiyan was not wrong in his guess. Zhang Qing's breaking edge 8 blades was indeed different from the past. This was something he had honed through countless battles in the apocalypse. His current version of the breaking edge 8 blades was specifically improved to counter white strange beasts. For 10 years in the apocalypse, Zhang Qing relied on the breaking edge 8 blades to survive the most difficult times. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been able to survive for 10 years in the apocalypse. And initially, his breaking edge 8 blades was actually taught to him by Zhao Tietue, using the wind's momentum to sweep away the autumn leaves. Seeing 3 white strange beasts charging together, Zhang Qing stepped forward, slashing the 3 sharp tentacles that rushed toward him. Immediately afterward, he positioned himself in front of a white strange beast and flicked his yunk knife. The unparalleled sharp blade sliced through the massive white strange beast from its waist to its heart, creating a large gash on its gray-white body. Blood erupted forth, the heart pierced by the sharp blade. The white strange beast struggled twice before collapsing dead. Let's die together. With a single breath, Zhang Qing slashed down 3 white strange beasts, his momentum like a rainbow, the yunk knife glimmering with a menacing cold light, and he aimed a horizontal cut at the throats of 2 white strange beasts. Hiss! Hiss! 2 clear sounds rang out, and both white strange beasts fell in response, their necks half severed. In an instant, all 5 white strange beasts were slain, and Zhang Qing stood there like a god of destruction, holding his knife. The second-level white phantom beast let out a hoarse cry after slaying 5 first-level white phantom beasts. Upon seeing Zhang Qing, within a minute, its brutality evident. Next, it's your turn. Zhang Qing raised his yunk blade and pointed it menacingly at the second-level white phantom. Upon seeing the glint of cold light at the tip of the yunk blade, the second-level white phantom beast involuntarily took a half-step back, blood gushing wildly from its severed arm. Losing an arm significantly weakened it. Now its strength was barely stronger than a first-level superclass white phantom beast, making it no match for Zhang Qing. That last strike allowed you to evade, but this time you want to escape. Zhang Qing's voice was cold as he tapped the ground with his toes, swiftly leaping forward. The yunk blade aimed directly at the heart of the second-level white phantom beast. Hiss! The second-level white phantom beast saw Zhang Qing charging, and its 4 sharp tentacles shot to sweep away all enemies. Zhang Qing muttered softly, pivoting quickly to the left on his right toe, the yunk blade slicing horizontally as he spun. Sizzle! The sharp blade severed all 4 tentacles of the second-level white phantom beast in one stroke, blood splattering across the ground. Seeing this, Zhang Qing wasted no time, delivering a powerful kick that sent the towering second-level white phantom beast staggering back. Immediately following, he turned quickly and rushed forward, the yunk blade thrusting straight into the heart of the second-level white phantom beast. The sharp tip pierced through its chest and out its back, ending its life completely. Any white phantom beast below the mysterious level would not survive 3 seconds once its heart was pierced, a lesson Zhang Qing learned from 10 years of bloody battles. Yet he had never faced a white phantom beast of mysterious earthly or even celestial levels. Thus he was uncertain whether a powerful white phantom beast would die instantly if its heart was penetrated. In his past life, he was too weak to encounter such formidable beings, but in this life, Zhangqing knew he would eventually confront them. After dealing with the second-level white phantom beast Zhangqing, with the bloodied yunk blade in hand, began a massacre against the remaining dozen or so white phantom beasts. Meanwhile, Zhao Tiechue, Fang Shiyun, Pei Yushan, Su Zhixian, and Lu Haoran, seeing Zhangqing slay the second-level white phantom beast, launched a fierce counterattack. In the end, through the cooperation of the six, all 23 white phantom beasts were eradicated. Looking at the ground covered in white phantom beast corpses, Zhangqing addressed, "Everyone dig out the blood source crystals from their hearts. You all need to learn how to collect source crystals." Hearing Zhangqing's words, the group did not hesitate. They understood the meaning behind his statement. Collecting source crystals was for future preparations for turning the wheel. Especially Su Zhixian, who already possessed her own fateful wheel. As long as there were enough source crystals, she could turn it at any time. Suppressing their nausea, they quickly extracted the source crystals from the bodies of the white phantom beasts and placed them in a backpack, which they handed to Zhangqing. Zhangqing accepted it without hesitation, slinging the backpack over his right shoulder, then walked to the dormitory entrance and said to everyone, "Now we need a vehicle. Who has a car?" "I have a car parked on the road behind the school," said a tall and attractive girl. "I actually have one too, but it's a bit old, but still runs fine, also parked at the back door." Lu Haoran said somewhat shyly his Jetta was used for his part-time driving job, so it had a high mileage, but was still in decent condition. "That makes 3 cars enough to accommodate all 11 of us." Zhangqing nodded. "Then according to the original plan, we'll first go to my family's weapon shop. It's in a more secluded area, so there shouldn't be too many white phantom beasts there." Fang Shiyun addressed everyone, "First, let's head to the back door of the school, and after the military clears the white phantom beasts, we will go to the Zijin Mountain weapon shop." Zhangqing's voice was cold. Hearing this, no one objected, and they began to walk toward the back door of the school, while Zhangqing called on Fang Shiyun to drive. Soon they arrived unobstructed at the back door of the school, but just as they were about to exit the campus, they saw a group of over a dozen tall, fierce-looking men approaching from the entrance. These men were all armed with various weapons, including mountain knives, watermelon knives, steel pipes, and even a tumter-long blade welded from a steel pipe and a large knife. Among them, a burly young man with a thick gold chain around his neck and dyed yellow hair lasciviously eyed Pei Yushan and Su Zhixian. Then with a wicked grin, he said, "I never expected there would be such exquisite goods at Jinling University. Looks like we came to the right place. Brother Hong, we brothers are in for a treat today. These girls are way better than those from last night." A bald man with a face full of flesh grinned at the yellow-haired youth. "Haha, with the apocalypse upon us, we brothers can do whatever we want and no one can restrain us anymore." The yellow-haired youth raised the mountain knife in his hand, his face madly gleeful, as the group behind him danced. At this moment, seeing the shameless demeanor of these men, Pei Yushan and the others realized what kind of scum they. Under normal circumstances, these individuals were merely idle members of society, but with the apocalypse arriving, it had given them a chance to rise. In the apocalypse, it's these despicable scum who, unrestrained by laws, fully unleash the darkest sides of human nature. Rape, plunder, burn, kill, and commit all sorts of heinous acts. And those who wish to survive in the apocalypse must avoid the attacks of the phantom beasts while also being on guard against people like these. Men, get lost. Leave the women to me. The yellow-haired youth referred to as Brother Hong raised his mountain knife, pointing it at Zhao Tiechue and Lu Haoran. Zhao Tiechue was about to get angry when Lu Haoran pressed down on his shoulder and whispered, "Wait for Zhangqing to arrive." "What are you two whispering about? Didn't you hear Brother Hong? If you don't want to die, get lost now." The burly bald man also shouted angrily at the two. "Brothers, with the disaster upon us, we humans should unite, not kill each other." Lu Haoran smiled at the yellow-haired youth, realizing that he was likely the leader of this group. "Don't waste time here, but if you don't want to die, get lost. I want these women. If you keep babbling, Brother Hong's knife doesn't recognize people." The yellow-haired youth's face was filled with malice, clearly impatient. "You're looking for death." Pei Yushan, also hot-tempered, pointed the sharp tip of her silver dragon spear at the yellow-haired youth's chest. The yellow-haired youth's earlier gaze had already made her very uncomfortable, and now hearing his lewd words made her want to strike even more. While not only is this little lad's figure hot, but her temper is quite fierce too, Brother Hong likes it. The yellow-haired youth disregarded the silver dragon spear, grinning excitedly at Pei Yushan. Just as Pei Yushan was about to pierce the yellow-haired youth's chest with her spear, the sound of a car horn came from behind. Pei Yushan and the others knew Zhangqing had arrived. From the car, Zhangqing saw at a distance what was unfolding at the school's back gate. Having endured 10 years of the apocalypse, such scenes no longer startled him. Fang Shiyun asked, brow furrowing, "What's happening? What are those people trying to do?" Zhangqing replied, "Scourges of the apocalypse. They're about to start killing." Zhangqing, parked behind the cluster of girls, took up the yunk knife at his side and sneered, "Is this the cruelty of the apocalypse?" Fang Shiyun's face went ashen. He gripped his Yenling saber, opened the car door, and stepped down beside Zhang. At the sight of Zhangqing and Fang Shiyun, the girls parted, allowing them to take the forefront. The yellow-haired youth saw the long blades in their hands, and their stern faces. He frowned, sensing they were not to be trifled with. Most tellingly, their clothes were stained with blood, a detail that set the yellow-haired youth's nerves alight with danger. By his battle-hardened experience, he was certain Zhang Qing and his group had just endured a fierce battle, otherwise they would not be so drenched in blood. They had encountered the Bai Guisho that morning and had killed several. Because they were many, the slaughter had been easy. Thus the yellow-haired youth assumed Zhang Qing's party had also clashed with those beasts. Although wary, he remained supremely confident in his own faction's strength. They had always been brawling experts, and after last night's mutation, each of them had seen their physical prowess greatly enhanced. When he awoke, that morning, the yellow-haired youth discovered his punch could deliver the force of 260 kilograms, 3 times that of an ordinary man. Others were not quite so strong, yet still averaged around 150 kilograms of force. In short, this squad had become a veritable team of berserk strength. "Are you their leader?" the yellow-haired youth asked, his gaze flicking between Zhang Qing and Fang Shiyun before settling on Zhang Qing. It was plain that Fang Shiyun hung half a step behind Zhang Qing, evidently deferring to him. "Yes," Zhang Qing said tersely, his eyes sweeping over the yellow-haired youth and those behind him. 14 in all, each possessing the strength of a level 1 novice warrior. The strongest, however, was the yellow-haired youth, brawny keeneyed, likely at the threshold of a level 2 warrior. In the early apocalypse, such a force would be formidable. Still, Zhang Qing had greater confidence in his own group. After the mutation, Pei Yushan, Fang Shiyun, and Zhao Tiechue had risen to level 2 warrior strength. Lu Haoran, his potential awakened, now stood as a peak level 1 warrior. Su Zexion's true power was inscrutable, but Zhang Qing suspected he might have reached level 3. As for himself, he conservatively assessed that he had at least met the entry standard for a level 3 warrior. All of this owed to his desperate gambit last night. He had absorbed a great deal of the uncanny mist. Without it, such strength would have been impossible. "Now that the apocalypse has come, we don't wish needless conflict," the yellow-haired youth said. "Your men can go, the women and the food stay with us," he said cautiously to Zhang Qing, gripping his black chopper tightly, wary of a sudden strike. Before I might have agreed, Zhang Qing paused, his gaze icy as he stared at the yellow-haired youth. "But not now, kid, you're asking for death," the bald man beside the yellow-haired youth snarled at Zhang Qing's defiance. "Hongo, why waste words? Kill the men, take the women. We've never had the pleasure of indulging in such top-tier schoolgirls," a heavy-set, black-faced man rumbled. The hulking 200-pound black-faced man lumbered up beside the yellow-haired youth and grunted, "Brothers interested in joining us." The yellow-haired youth offered an olive branch to the placid-faced Zhang Qing, apparently ignoring the black-faced man's words. As his words fell, his underlings stirred in confusion. What did he mean, recruiting a boy barely grown into their Yet none dared question his authority. "Sorry, no interest," Zhang Qing said expressionlessly, a hint of chill in his dark eyes. "No interest, eh? Then die." The yellow-haired youth's face twisted savage. With a sudden lunge, his chopper came down in a fierce stroke aimed at Zhang Qing's head. Zhang Qing snorted, as if seeing through the trick. He flashed aside and evaded the blade. "Not bad reflexes. Kill him," the yellow-haired youth barked to his men when Zhang Qing dodged his ambush. "Kill." In an instant, battle erupted. "Scum, die." Zhao Tiechue, long caged in fury, seized his miaodao and cleaved toward the black-faced man. "Die, bald head. I'll send you to your next life." Pei Yushan, unable to restrain herself, picked a target and charged. Had Zhang Qing not arrived in time, she would already have struck. Fang Shiyun, Su Zhixian, and Lu Haoran also joined the fray, engaging in brutal close combat. "Your greatest mistake was provoking us." Zhang Qing drew the young knife, gripping its black-wrapped hilt in his right hand, as murderous intent flashed across his eyes. "Huh. What big talk for a toad," yawning. The yellow-haired youth sneered, thinking Zhang Qing may have some skill, but could never best him. But the next moment proved him spectacularly wrong. With a metallic clang as their blades met, the yellow-haired youth was driven backward 7 or 8 paces before he could regain his footing. His arms tingled from the shock, his hands trembling as his chopper nearly flew free. "Impossible. How do you possess such strength?" he cried in disbelief. "You're not bad yourself. You've reached the power of a level 2 warrior." Zhang Qing said, the young knife's tip angled toward the ground as he stepped forward with a cold expression. "Honga, they're too strong. Brothers can't hold on," the bloodied bald man cried to the yellow-haired youth, as barely had the clash begun when 5 of the yellow-haired youth's men lay in pools of blood. The bald man's words had scarcely left him when Pei Yushan's silver dragon spear pierced his chest. "Die." On Zhao Taichui's side, the fight with the black-faced man tilted decisively. His miaodao pressed so hard the black-faced man could not draw breath, slashing deep, bone-revealing wounds across his body. With a final roar, Zhao Tiechue delivered a slanting stroke across the black-faced man's clavicle, killing him instantly. Seeing half his comrades fall in moments, the yellow-haired youth realized he had bitten off far more than he could chew. "It's your turn now." Zhang Qing regarded the retreating blonde-haired youth with icy detachment. The blonde-haired youth dropped his broad-bladed cleaver and knelt on the ground, his face twisted in terror as he pleaded for mercy. At that moment, the three remaining underlings gathered beside him, bloody, battered, and trembling with dread as they stared at Pei Yushan, Su Zhixian, and Fang Shiyun. They had never imagined these seemingly frail university students would be so formidable. Within less than 5 minutes of combat, 10 of their brothers lay dead. Even their own leader stood no chance against them. What hope remained? The three underlings cast down their weapons and instinctively crouched low, hands clasped over their heads, awaiting Zhang Qing's judgment. Brother Qing, shall we slaughter them all? Zhao Taiatui hefted his blood-dripping Miao saber across his shoulder, eyes blazing with murderous intent. Scum like them deserve death. Pei Yushan's delicate features hardened into glacial severity. She still seethed from overhearing their brazen boasts about violating several female students the previous night. Let them go. Through the school's front gate, Lu Haoran proposed to Zhang Qing. A flicker of wry understanding passed among the group. To reach the front gate alive would require breaking through a horde of hundreds of white ghoul beasts, an act tantamount to handing them over to death itself. Moreover, their flight would divert the beasts' attention, a dual advantage. Just yesterday, all of them had witnessed hundreds of white ghoul beasts storming into the campus, most converging upon the front compound. And beyond the front gate awaited an endless tide of white ghoul beasts. The inner sections flanking the front gate led directly into aging residential neighborhoods, now epicenters of ghoul infestation. In essence, Lu Haoran's suggestion was an elegant invitation to the gates of hell. Very well, let it be done as Haoran suggests. All of you get out. If I see any of you again, you die on sight. Zhang Qing's gaze burned with lethal resolve. Yes, yes, we swear we'll never return. We'll leave through the front gate at once. Hearing Zhang Qing's reprieve, the blonde-haired youth gave no thought to the calamity awaiting him beyond the gate. Go. Zhang Qing commanded, his expression utterly impassive. We're going right now. As if granted divine absolution, the four scrambled upright and fled in panicked disarray, terrified Zhang Qing might rescind his mercy. What a pity, they've escaped too easily. Pei Yushan watched the four stagger away, her voice thick with resentment. Killing them would only soil our hands. The white ghoul beasts will deliver heaven's retribution. Lu Haoran stooped to retrieve the 80-centimeter cleaver, his demeanor detached and unflinching. In another life, he might have pleaded for their lives. But in this apocalypse, he understood mercy toward enemies is cruelty toward oneself, a principle Zhang Qing had relentlessly instilled in them. In the apocalypse, sentimentality endangers both self and others. Enough, we're leaving. Zhang Qing glanced at his wristwatch and addressed the group. Only half an hour remained until 10 o'clock, when the military would launch its encirclement operation against the white ghoul beasts in Jinling City. Their window was closing fast. Soon they reached the road behind the school's rear gate, devoid of white ghoul beasts yet eerily empty of human presence. The entire avenue stretched desolate, lined only with students' private vehicles parked along the curb. Haoran, you and that tall girl go fetch a car. We'll wait here. Zhang Qing instructed Lu Haoran and the statuesque young woman. As they nodded and prepared to depart, sudden sharp gunfire erupted from deep within the campus. What's happening? Could it be the military, coming to rescue us? Lu Haoran listened intently to the rapidly approaching volleys, his brow furrowed in uncertainty. So what do we do now? Wait for the military or proceed as planned to Zijin Mountain? Fang Shiyun hesitated, his expression conflicted. Jinling University lay dozens of kilometers from the Zijin Mountain Armory. Under such chaos, military escort would be ideal, hence his hesitation. Brother Qing, what's our move? Wait or go? Zhao Taitui asked. You all stay here and await the military. Su Zhixian comes with me. Zhang Qing's eyes flickered. Something felt amiss about the gunfire echoing through the campus, though he couldn't quite place. He was no firearms enthusiast. In his past life, he'd scarcely handled modern weaponry, and in Longwa civilians held unwavering trust in the military. He had no desire to defy the group's collective will. Thus he chose to take Su Zhixian, the strongest among them, first. Should danger arise, the two of them could mount a rescue. Where are you two headed? Off to elope. Zhao Taitui teased, grinning as Zhang Qing singled out the ethereally beautiful Su Zhixian. What nonsense. This is the apocalypse. Where would we elope to? Zhang Qing almost smacked Zhao Taitui upside the head. How could he joke at a time like this? He was just kidding. Zhao Taitui leaned casually on his Miao saber, his face split by a light-hearted grin. Young Master Fang Haoran, if anything feels off, give us a signal. Su Zhixian and I will race over in the car. Zhang Qing murmured quietly to Fang Shiyun and Lu Haoran. Understood, we'll watch closely. Instantly, they grasped his unspoken concern. The gunfire might not be military at all. I'm coming with you too. Pei Yushan suddenly declared, her gaze locked firmly on Zhang Qing. The others exchanged knowing, amused glances, eager to see how he'd respond. No seats left. A single effortless remark left Pei Yushan speechless and earned Zhang Qing's silent, admiring nods from the rest. In truth, Pei Yushan rivaled Su Zhixian in both grace and beauty, but Zhang Qing hadn't chosen Su Zhixian for her looks. After repeated clashes with white ghoul beasts, Su Zhixian's strength had become undeniable. Among them all, only Zhang Qing surpassed her. Moments later, Zhang Qing and Su Zhixian climbed into the vehicle and drove eastward along the road, vanishing from view. Why me? Su Zhixian asked from the passenger seat, her luminous eyes fixed on Zhang Qing's profile. Because you're the strongest, Zhang Qing answered without embellishment. Oh, a faint quiet disappointment softened her exquisite features, as if the answer fell short of expectation. As Zhang Qing drove, his gaze swept vigilantly across the surroundings. Once assured of safety, he pulled over to the roadside. What are we doing here? Su Zhixian's voice rang cool and clear, gazing across the vast barren expanse. Once again the aloof celestial soared immortal. Zhang Qing blinked, baffled by her sudden shift in temperament. Spin the celestial fate wheel. Without another word, he stepped out and retrieved 2 backpacks, filled with source crystals, from the rear seat. Su Zhixian paused, startled, then followed suit. Curious to witness Zhang Qing's celestial fate wheel firsthand, its tier, its mechanics, and the precise ritual required to set it in motion.